The light of that. Okay. So today would be continuation of yesterday's post-independent development session. So morning session as well as post-lunch session. And the continuation of these sessions would be next time when Sinha sir comes in the next month. Okay, next month he will come in another weekend. In that weekend again, the morning till evening, we'll have continuous sessions on this. Okay. So yesterday, any kind of exhaustion? Felt like exhausted in the evening? No? So you want an extended session then? Okay. So today anyway, you need to cut short it because unlike yesterday, yesterday means since we had time yesterday evening, but today evening he might require to go early to the airport. So maybe by 5. Yesterday, what was 5:30? 5:30 would be okay. Generally, earlier days, we used to have session starting morning 7:38 till 6:30 also in the evening. Okay. Earlier days, almost 7-8 years back, maybe even 10 years back. And then we slowly started streamlining everything. So we made it in such a fashion that instead of rushing through like that, so we started at 9 o'clock and slowly we shifted it to 10 o'clock. Actually, it should be 10 o'clock, not 10:30. There was some small communication gap actually, but it actually should be 10 o'clock. 10:30 means that 2 days, half an hour, unnecessarily we are wasting, right? So I don't want that to happen because anyway, Sunday evening 5:30, we have to invariably close it. So 1 hour is a loss basically. 1 hour lo em potadi ante. So when a faculty comes from such long distance and such a precious faculty, we need to utilize his time to the maximum extent possible, right? Or else we might require him to ask for more number of visits, which is sometimes may be possible, sometimes may not be possible based on his schedules there in Delhi. Okay. Anyway, so anything that you want me to address before he starts his session? Amleda? Okay, chalo then. Bye.
Very good morning. Please sit down. Please sit down. थोड़ा सा राकेश वॉल्यूम ठीक है ना? ठीक, fine. Today, first, as you know now, that we start session with roadmap. Any one of you who did not attend last day session? Oh, 2 of them. I could recognize, no worry. What you would be getting the way others are getting, everything you will get it. And that's why I'm briefing you once again that it should be your self-study process. I think you also did not attend yesterday, fine? So you would be getting everything the way it is. I tell you, let me start from this point. In case of your self-study also, fine, you always prepare a roadmap before sitting on chair and complete that roadmap within your time frame. That would be really fantastic preparation. Before I start the session formally, I've already projected before you what it is, what we have to discuss. But first few minutes, you hear me very properly. Why so? Few points. Just let me explain to you. See, you have come by sparing your precious time. I have come from Delhi last evening, sparing my precious time in spite of having very hectic schedule. That means when we work out together, it should be your nature, work culture, that the session, that I know that it has to be like that, it will be like that, but I would like to share with you that one session is over today. While going back, you have tremendous feel. Thank you, sir. You made the day. Then it is worth. Otherwise, I am worthless for you. That will never happen. That I am sure, based on my around 3 decades of experience. Few things, as I shared with you, that when you come here, minimum 1 hour, minimum. When you go back, minimum 1 hour. And thereafter you spending session here. Fine? That would be really positive. If suppose after going back you need to revise all the points, trying to recall all the points what you discussed, that means you are heading towards disaster in your life, because that means you are not able to manage your time very properly, and the entire fight is for the time management itself. See, 24 hours from everyone, not a single second is extra. And let me tell you one more thing. It's not prophetic lecture. ये बाबा रामदेव का lecture नहीं है. It is for professional reason. You have to understand these things, because all across India candidates are preparing. All across. And huge number. I think all of you must be knowing it. Don't write, young man, right now. Please hold just because you are not going to be stenographers. You have ये कोई नई बात नहीं है. I am traveling, of course, Delhi I am based, and thereafter traveling Srinagar, Guwahati on government invitation. Srinagar, Guwahati, Hyderabad, of course, only analog right from 2009 or 10 something. I have been visiting Northern Institute. That's my way of. So that it should be message to what is called market economy. There are still some people who are neither sellable nor purchasable. I have that kind of bond with Mr. Shrikant. I can't celebrate if people are killing each other. So I would love to stop that killing if I can. And because of that, he was sitting in Calcutta. Of course, his presence in Calcutta made difference in Calcutta. People, of course, gradually communal violence got stopped. That is a very painful part of our country. And we are facing that kind of communal flare-up even today. Because it always happens, whatever is your grooming, that matters a lot. What is your family background? That matters a lot. For example, of course, I'm not a psychologist, but there is some elements of personality. Like you will find certain boys and girls, they have typical habit of doing this. Whenever they are sitting, thinking something, doing this. This shows that that boy and girl is facing some sort of insecurity at home. That insecurity may come from fight between parents. When parents start fighting too much, shouting over each other, that child gets insecure. And that insecurity comes like this. ये body language होते हैं, तो आपको, so this is just I am citing. You also, I think you attended yesterday's session. You attended yesterday's session. You attended. Fine, very good. So present day session would be like, first point, demand for Swaraj, complete Swaraj. Second point would be demand for separate constitution and constituent assembly election. Third point would be independence of India along with division. Fourth point would be integration of princely states in India. And integration of princely state, it's a very challenging task. How it was carried out, we will discuss it. And the fifth point would be after integration of princely state, in which especially Hyderabad, Junagadh and Jammu Kashmir, they created challenges, how it was managed. And then the fifth point of the session would be reorganization process in India, state reorganization process. And there we will stop, we will have lunch break. Thereafter, 1 hour lunch break. Thereafter, we pick up further Nehru's era. That is, what is Nehru as first Prime Minister of India? What was his major policy decisions in making of India? That way we will move. And once again, I remind all of you, please, it is my request also. I should not remind you time and again that have concentration in the class, because when you are spending time and the work culture would be, I point out first, I will give you a point, you would be noting down. First point I will discuss, you thereafter write up. And during write up, again I remind you, I would say this point is important. You put their cue. That is UPSC question. That line is UPSC question. That way you keep preparing. So, and I will be asking you change the paragraph. Then you will get to know, and you yourself will see your copy in the evening, and you will find, my God, this area covered, this much area covered, small paragraph. If you ask anyone to read it, he or she would be tempted to read, because it's a very impressive, small paragraph. If you write like a thesis in UPSC, nobody will read your copy, nobody evaluate your copy. You would be getting very low marks in spite of having good content. So make sure these are small things. That makes all the difference. So we have these 5 points. First, you note down the 5 points. First point I will explain, write up like that. Point out, please. First point, demand for Swaraj and complete Swaraj. Demand for Swaraj and complete Swaraj. Demand for Swaraj and complete Swaraj. Second point, demand for separate constitution. Demand for separate constitution and constituent assembly election. Demand for separate constitution and constituent assembly elections. And constituent assembly elections. Constituent assembly election. Point 3. Independence of India along with division. Point 3. Independence of India along with division. Independence of India along with division. Along with division. Fourth point, integration of princely states. Integration of princely states. Integration of princely states, especially integration of princely state, especially Jammu Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. Especially Jammu Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. Jammu Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. Fifth point, Linguistic Provinces Commission. Fifth point, Linguistic Provinces Commission. Linguistic Provinces Commission, followed by, in the same line, followed by state reorganization process. Followed by a state reorganization process in India. Followed by state reorganization process in India. A state reorganization process in India. In bracket, you write in bracket, including the rise of separatism, including the rise of separatism and regionalism in India. Including rise of separatism and regionalism in India. Rise of separatism and regionalism in India. This is your 5 points, sir. Now you hold your writing for a few minutes and just share me for very properly. And once again, I just repeat my request. Make sure make sure that when you listen to, the point should be crystal clear in your mind. उसके बाद देखना आपकी writing speed अपने आप बहुत fast हो जाएगी. The way I speak, this communication skill, it is nothing doing with practice. Practice से नहीं होता ये. I am conceptually clear. Tremendous confidence. No scratch. In spite of the fact nobody can be encyclopedia. But what I know, I know. What I don't know, I don't know. What I know what I don't know. No confusion. Because of that, communication is effective. I can speed up communication. I can slow down communication as per my choice, as per the requirement. Likewise, writing speed would be tremendous as per you examiner. Others, few of you would be able to beat in terms of writing speed. Would be able to compete in terms of writing speed that I do maintain. And that is also not with wrist. It's nothing doing with it. It is basically conceptual clarity. Conceptually you are clear. So you are young people. If you develop this right from beginning of your preparation, you yourself would realize by the month of November or December, you will have a good feeling in always. Feel good factor. Yes, 2024 will bring success for you. Automatically mind starts telling you. Or else if you are not doing that job properly, mind itself start telling you कि आप disaster की तरफ जा रहे हैं. 31st December, all across India people celebrating, all across world people celebrating, लेकिन आप कहीं ना कहीं you will feeling sad कि 2024 पता नहीं कैसा होगा मेरे लिए. I don't know what 2024 will bring for me. That mind is very pure. Mind tells you what he is going to. So be sure like this. Now onward, I won't repeat this point. This is for you. Because I'd be leaving you today, flying back to Delhi. My schedule would be again from Monday, stormy. Next weekend, I'd be visiting some other part of India. That is my, what is called aspiration, that before my last breath, I should address youth of India as much as I can, not only to prepare for general study, not only for civil services, but to have an alert mind, knowing India, our own nation, that we know. And the best part I would like to share with you, आप लोगों से एक connection हो जाता है. I'm blessed that way. The batch, always I get very good batch, large or small, whatever. Exceptionally, कभी ऐसा हुआ है लाइफ में, मुझे याद नहीं है, कभी कोई बैच थोड़ा अनरिस्पॉन्सिव मुझे लगा, नॉट दैट मच रिस्पॉन्सिव, तो मैंने रिफ्यूज कर दिया कि नहीं, आई वोंट बी टेकिंग सेशन, ये बैच में मेरा टाइम वेस्ट होगा, सो बेटर सम अदर फैकल्टी मस्ट टेक चार्ज. बट रेयरली इट हैपन. सो आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर विथ यू दैट when you know thing as per the work culture, as I was sharing with you, a work culture of roadmap, as per the roadmap today, first point is going to be, and that is as I was sharing with you, जो मैं बोलने जा रहा था आपसे, वो बोलने जा रहा था कि जब मैं भी क्या करता हूँ, it is learning from me also when I am invited in premier institution, national level institution, international level institution like JNU, like Jamia, like Constitution Club, like Press Club on certain topic. Then it is butterfly with me also. I'm not able to sleep properly because I have to excel, or else why people will invite me. लेकिन जब जाता हूँ ना, तो number of times I tell you that's a acid test for my personality also. अभी जैसे मई में 8 मई को JNU में जब लास्ट है, उसके बाद अभी फिर होगा. Next time it is on criminal justice system. That will be also in International School of General Studies, JNU, room number 28. वहाँ होगा ये वीडियो कवरेज होता है. If you want, I will send to Mr. Shrikant. You can hear if you want to. That is your choice. तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि मैं भी क्या करता हूँ. I prepare and thereafter extempore, that gives me immense pleasure. Extempore speaking without any support system. That means point is very much clear here. And I also feel a bit strained for a day next morning, and I would like to share with you. Sometime it's very welcoming, like it happened in JNU. Sometime what happens, before it, I remember in the month of Feb itself, in the month of April, most probably on 21st April, that was Civil Services Day. On Civil Services Day, I was invited to India International Center. Lots of distinguished speakers had been there. So I was one of the speakers speaking to. I tell you, और 2-3 मिनट मेरे लिए जरूरी है आपको बताना कि देखो चैलेंज कैसे होते हैं. As soon as my name was announced, now it's a turn of Mr. R.C. Sinha, and जो एड्रेस होते हैं उन्होंने दिया. Some of them sitting there, retired chief justice or retired judges of Supreme Court, retired top brass, they looked at me ऐसे बड़ा disgusted सा look दिया मुझे. Disgusting, like, who is this fellow? But some people were knowing and some people having welcoming attitude also. That's a challenge for me. I should not take it negative. I came on dais and they had been looking at me like, it's a typical body language to ignore. That should be taken as challenge. It shouldn't be taken negative. ठीक है, मुझे prove करना है. I started, ladies and gentlemen, and thereafter topic I delivered. Within 5-7 minutes, all those people, distinguished people, they had been distinguished people, they are, उनका body language ऐसे था. And thereafter, as soon as the session got over, I said, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak among distinguished speakers. And thank you especially those who earlier had been ignoring me, but now accepting me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day. As soon as I got down from dais, I tell you, अच्छे लोग होते हैं, उनका इंटेंशन खराब नहीं होता है. उनको लगता है कि हमेशा स्टालवार्ड्स ही आने चाहिए. तो same people, I tell you, they were literally, while coming on dais, while going back, it was zero gravity for me also. And coming down, and thereafter, all the same people, oh, nice to hear you, Mr. Sinha. Nice to hear you. From which place you are staying in Delhi? And thereafter, conversation started, and all people surrounding asking, I came out like hero, and while I entered, I was a bit zero. ऐसे challenge होते हैं. So this challenge, when you face positively, you can win the show. And you people are quite young. If you take such kind of ignorance as challenge, you will make it. So likewise, let us have how India sustained challenge. That is our topic, India since independence from Nehru to Narendra Modi. In this first point, let me explain you. First point is Swaraj and complete Swaraj. See, one simple thing. After divide and rule policy, as I explained you yesterday, 2-3 are new, I would like to address you people also, that after, all of you know that when Bengal, especially Indian leaders got hurt badly when Bengal was divided. I am giving you a review of previous sessions so that you should pick up with coherence. Let me explain you once again. In British, as we always refer British for sake of their exploitation, but on the other hand, British made us learn also. Even today, your secretariat, new secretariat, that is British architect. The entire design is British architect. Can you imagine? We are free India, but even then we love to have British architect. So there was the President of America, Woodrow Wilson. He was President of America, Woodrow Wilson. He is known as father of public administration. Once he has said, one quotation is very important. Once he has said, one can learn technique of sharpening a knife. Are you getting my point? One can learn. आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? प्रेसिडेंट वुड्रो विल्सन का क्या रेफर किया आप समझे? प्रेसिडेंट वुड्रो विल्सन ने कहा है, नोबेल प्राइज विनर 1920 में उनको नोबेल पीस प्राइज मिला था बिकॉज ऑफ हिज रोल. बिकॉज एक बात आप नोटिस करते होंगे, सम टाइम आई पिन पॉइंट अ पर्टिकुलर कैंडिडेट. कल भी मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था आपको. रीजन, कैंडिडेट हैज पोटेंशियल बट कैजुअल. जैसे, आर यू अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट प्रेसिडेंट वुड्रो विल्सन हैज फेमस कोटेशन एवरीबॉडी कोट्स? No, I'm not asking you. No. Then how will you get to know? How we get to know? By our sincerity, by our utmost interest. How? अभी जो थोड़ी देर पहले बोला, किस लिए बोला? इसलिए बोला ना कि अभी इस एज में अगर कैजुअल रहोगे ना, देखो एक बॉडी लैंग्वेज ऐसे होता है, एक होता है ऐसे. इट डज नॉट मीन व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट मी देन ओनली यू आर लिसनिंग टू. इट डज नॉट मीन दैट. इट इज लाइक दैट. देखो बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसा होता है. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ यू हैव दैट बॉडी लैंग्वेज. यस. getting the points and thereafter your speed would be faster. And जैसे body language ऐसा होता है, इसमें जब मैं explain कर रहा हूँ तो body language, that is typical body language of stenographers, not IAS officers. Because after the topic is discussed, thereafter, write up, and he started writing. Nothing is here, only getting into copy. क्या होगा? So many study material all across India available. Nothing. I'm not speaking anything special, but it has to be here. इसलिए और आप लोग के पास वो चीज है, इससे बार-बार रिमाइंड करता हूँ कि देखो, why I am referring today. Yesterday I did not refer. Today I am referring so that 2-3 are new. They would be also getting revision, and you would be also getting revision along with something fresh. Let me come back to, अब दोबारा मैं रिमाइंड नहीं करूंगा, प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ इट. पोटेंशियल है ना, गॉड ने, देखो एक बात हमेशा याद रखो, गॉड हैज गिवन यू पोटेंशियल. इफ यू आर नॉट यूटिलाइजिंग इट प्रॉपर्ली, देन व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ बेगिंग बिफोर गॉड कि गॉड मेरा ऐसा हो. गॉड भी आपको बोलेंगे अगर डॉग कैट का क्या होगा, you are having this much of talent, I have given you this much of personality, even then you are begging before me. What about those? तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be like, once again, finish it. अब रिमाइंड नहीं करूंगा किसी को. But yes, if you, even then if I find you casual, I will ask you question. If you are so sure, reply to the question, concern area. Please, I repeat, British India is always referred as India under exploitation. But on the other hand, British India has made remarkable impact over India in terms of India's education system. See, I am speaking in their language. Engineering, medical, management, all you are studying in English only. There is no Hindi material. Their impact on education system, slightly. Whenever I revise previous class, I give you something fresh. So they made impact on our education system, our judiciary, our legislative system, our police manual, our civil services manual. So they have, and even our architect. And architect impact is that much that in spite of the fact we are demolishing British architect or removing any architect in India, again we are reconstructing British architect out of their impression. And coincidentally, I am in Hyderabad. You are in Hyderabad. The best example is Secretariat of Hyderabad. No doubt about it, that is huge and massive and very impressive. But once again, it reminds you that British would be standing in front of Secretariat, the British would have been looking at you people and feeling so proud of, you will never be free from us. We have made that much impact in your mind, you can't live without us. We are that kind of people. We have ruled half of the globe because of that reason. Because half of the globe, we have come to your country, few British, and ruled millions of Indians. Introspect yourself. What is wrong with you that you are millions and we are few, but we are able to rule you? Think of yourself. That way he would remind you. And with that reference, if suppose Woodrow Wilson is standing there, American president, he's no more, died in 1924. He won Nobel Peace Prize for playing a role in making of League of Nations. So Woodrow Wilson quotation is, one can learn technique of sharpening knife. One can learn technique of sharpening knife from a killer also, but the knife could be used in defense. That means you can learn from negative world also, but that could be used in positive world. For example, suppose one Naxal cadre, high cadre Naxal got arrested. He is being interrogated. Hitting, beating is cinema only. It is not like that. That does not happen in real case. Hardcore Naxal cadre. He is, by qualification, he is MTech. Lots of cadres are like, you people, qualified there. Now, sensitive police officer, it is not Daroga kind of interrogating. Good IPS rank officer, sober, sitting with them, and then trying to interrogate, trying to learn why is their leadership so effective? What is their motivation level? How do they develop this kind of intelligence that they get to know where CRPF is and CRPF is not able to know where they are? What kind of communication they are doing? And that way, when we interrogate, points are noted, recorded, and thereafter it is sent to DOPT. DOPT is sent to NPA. National Police Academy. National Police Academy integrates the thing into training process so that our officers should also be trained how counterparts is using intelligence. What is their way of using intelligence? For example, when Naxal cadre revealed at one point of time, since I'm knowing all these things because of the fact I'm a member, if you go on net, you will find there is an organization called FINS, Forum of Integrated National Security. I'm executive member, one of the executive member of it. If you will feel proud of that, yes, when you type FINS, Forum of Integrated National Security, but one thing you will find, I am the smallest man. All are big shot. J.F. Ribeiro kind of, K. Vijay Kumar kind of, that kind of Prakash Singh, Vikram Singh kind of, that kind of people are there. So I tell you, and that is a kind of think tank that gives all sorts of report to Government of India, DOPT. So I repeat, DOPT reported in that one case I am sharing with you that one Naxal cadre, we are in post-independent India. I am very much aware. I am giving you just extra constitutional aspect. So the Naxal cadre revealed, how do you get to know that police is or raiding parties coming to you? They say, sir, we are feeding stray dogs. Whatever we cook, we feed our stray dogs. And we all Naxal cadre feed. Because of that, the dog recognizes all of us. And that dog is staying there with our camps, wherever we are. And as soon as an unknown face dog looks at, it starts barking. And that we get alert. And because of that, we know Naxal cadre we place anywhere. These are the dogs, so loyal they are. We feed them and they are saving us. The police officer for a moment was in a state of shock. My God, this kind of intelligence network, if it is working, it's very difficult to get into their area. This is one simple example. That means Woodrow Wilson had said, according to Woodrow Wilson, our historians should not only condemn British, they make our youth learn what is secret of their ruling. Accordingly, all of you, I explained you yesterday and I'm giving you review. Accordingly, India on one hand sustained exploitation, but on the other hand, Indian system is very much impacted by, very much affected by British rule in terms of education system, in terms of judiciary, in terms of provision of constitution, in terms of police and civil services manual, all sorts of things in terms of architect, and that way British India has two phases to understand. However, when British India started targeting divide and rule, especially when they divided Bengal, when they divided Hindu-Muslim unity, then frustration cropped up in India, and accordingly, demand for Swaraj and complete Swaraj came up. Demand for Swaraj and complete, for example, somebody is teaching you, suppose, you are not able to get anything. Then finally what do? You get frustrated. Or suppose you are going through a book, you are not able to get anything. Naturally, you close the book. Don't leave it. Likewise, when Indians got frustrated, they started demanding British, give us Swaraj. What is the difference between Swaraj and complete Swaraj? Swaraj means give us participation in the government to safeguard our interest. I repeat, give us participation in the government to safeguard our interest. But complete Swaraj does mean, no, you go. We want our all elected government to safeguard our interest. You go. That means first it was demand for Swaraj by Tilak, what is also called Home Rule. You will be studying in detail in modern India. And thereafter it was followed by demand for complete Swaraj, and demand for complete Swaraj, as all of you know, demand for Swaraj, it was made in 1914 by Tilak. Demand for complete Swaraj was raised first time in Ahmedabad Conference of Indian National Congress, in which Maulana Hasrat Mohani, he was Urdu poet plus Congress member. He officially put forward in Indian National Congress that we should go for complete Swaraj. Based on that, I repeat, based on that demand for complete Swaraj started moving. Simultaneously, what happened? In same year, it was Subhash Chandra Bose who launched Swaraj newspaper. Very few people know. Swaraj newspaper. It was demand for complete Swaraj in Indian National Congress. It was Swaraj newspaper launched by Subhash Chandra Bose. It was Swaraj party launched by Motilal Nehru. And this means Swaraj, literally Swaraj, Swaraj, Swaraj in terms of demand, in terms of newspaper, in terms of party, started dominating India. And finally, on 31st December 1929, I repeat, on 31st December, please take care of the line, 31st December 1929, a resolution was passed by Indian National Congress that on last Sunday of January 1930, फिर से बोलता हूं, on 31st December 1929, resolution was passed in the Indian National Congress that on last Sunday of, because it was December, so next was January 1930, it was once again, it was 31st December 1929. Resolution was passed that on last Sunday of January 1930, all across India we will celebrate Swaraj Divas. Coincidentally, that's last Sunday in 1930, January was 26 January. That 26 January was celebrated all across India as Swaraj Divas. So when British started looking all around entire India celebrating Swaraj Divas, British realized now we have to move. Because when suppose somebody announced Band in Hyderabad and really entire Hyderabad shut down, that alerts the government. That means the party who is going for Band, party has a strong mass base. So because of that, complete Swaraj, British started realizing, and so British ultimately proposed us 1935 Act. I did not go into Act because I'd like to clarify once again, modern history faculty would be taking you for these details, and the person would be taking polity and governance, that part he would be taking one by one constitution making from 1858 Act to 1861 Act, 1892 Act. I'm not touching those areas because those areas would be covered by polity and governance faculty. So I repeat here, but few areas I'd like to focus. So in 1935 Act, I repeat, in 1935 Act, demand for separate constitution was also considered. I repeat, demand for complete Swaraj, we passed resolution. In 1935 Act, demand for separate constitution was also considered. Then who raised demand for separate constitution? Demand for separate constitution was made first ever in 1928 by Nehru Report. It was Nehru Report that was drafted demanding India that India should be a federation. Why India should be a federation? Because India has cultural and geographical diversity where unless state units are also having their government, federation means what? When there is union and state government working together. So in 1928 by Nehru Report we demanded, once again, on 1928 by Nehru Report we demanded separate constitution. On 26 January 1930 we celebrated Swaraj Divas. Taking Swaraj and separate constitution together, in 1935 British recognized, yes, India will get separate constitution, but meanwhile 1937 election, thereafter 1939 war started, that war became World War. Never you write in your copy World War started in 1939. It would be absolutely wrong. Why so? World War never starts. Russia-Ukraine war, had it been multiple front war, it would have become World War. World War never started. It starts from bilateral war that ultimately goes into World War. So if you write, it would be conceptually wrong. If you speak, it would be conceptually wrong. If you speak that way in interview, the interviewer will ask you, do you think World War starts? And you are simple by heart, you are not able to understand what is wrong you are speaking. So I repeat here, getting the point properly? आप समझ रहे हैं ना? बहुत अच्छा. ऐसा देखो, ऐसा अलर्टनेस से देखते हो कितना. And thereafter when you would be writing would be totally registered in your mind, each and every point registered. आप जानते हो मुझे कितनी खुशी होती होगी कि आप तो स्मॉल बैच हैं, लेकिन जैसे देखो कल फिर होगा. Every day evening I am earning best wishes and touch wood I would like to share. अभी भी मुझे एक सिंगल टैबलेट किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है. Entire body is natural and pure. Not a single medicine needed for anything. No medical elements. Completely pollution-free body. How is it possible? अगर मैं इस पर थोड़ा ईगो हो जाए मुझे तो पनिश करेगा गॉड, क्योंकि nobody knows मैं going outside one truck may hit. That is not within my control. Why should I feel that way? But I think I am earning best wishes. जैसे कल शाम में भी सेशन ओवर होगा ना, तो first compliment comes on the face, sir, whatever we have discussed, that is crystal clear to us. Even we can deliver lecture right now. That gives you immense pleasure, and because of that I keep reminding you, yes, it should be printed here instead of in copy, thereafter in copy. Fine. So it is like that. 1935, demand for Swaraj, demand for separate constitution altogether considered, but demand for separate constitution was delayed. Demand for separate constitution considered, but constitution making got delayed because of Second World War. Ultimately in 1945, I repeat, in 1945, based on cabinet mission plan, constitution making process started by Constituent Assembly election in July 1946. What was Constituent Assembly election? That is next point. So now it is high time. We have discussed, as per roadmap, we have discussed our first point and we are touching second point. Now whatever we have discussed, whatever I delivered, now you would be writing, and while writing I will repeat 1 point 3 times. You try to pick up so that you would be able to develop your speed to write 250 words in 10 minutes. Very nice of you. Please now write it in the para. British India has two aspects. British India has two aspects in which one aspect is references of exploitation. One aspect is references for exploitation, but the other aspect is impact of British rule. Other aspect is impact of British rule and English language. Impact of British rule and English language on education system. Impact of British rule and English language on education system. Judiciary, parliamentary proceedings. Police manual, civil services manual, police manual and civil services manual, including architectural pattern of India, including architectural pattern in India. Change the para. So British rule, change the para. So British rule has impacted India. So British rule has impacted India, which continued till date. Even after 75 years of independence. Change the para. Independence of India was a gradual process. That is UPSC question. Independence of India was a gradual process in which demand for Swaraj was raised by Tilak in 1914. Demand for Swaraj was raised by Tilak in 1914, which means which means demand for participation, which means demand for participation in the government, which means demand for participation in the government, to safeguard interest of Indians, to safeguard interest of Indians, to safeguard interest of Indian. However, demand for complete Swaraj, was based on removal of British rule, by Indians in term of elected government, Change the para. Demand for complete Swaraj, was first ever put forward in 1921 in Ahmedabad Conference, of Indian National Congress, by Hasrat Mohani, who was a Urdu poet and Congress member, And here it may be, we should discuss, we should not only write, we should have some reminders also. Any one of you in this class, if you speak on it, it would be very nice of you. This Hasrat Mohani, this great man, is known for a very important slogan raised everywhere, especially during agitation. Which slogan? Who said? Very nice. You also? It's Inqilab Jindabad. That means long live the movement. It was raised by Hasrat Mohani. Same line, right? The same person is known for slogan Inqilab Jindabad. The same person is known for Inqilab Jindabad, which means long live the movement. Inqilab Jindabad, which means long live the movement. Change the para. Demand for separate constitution. Demand for separate constitution was raised by Nehru Report in 1928. Demand for separate constitution was raised by Nehru Report in 1928, followed by a resolution by Indian National Congress, on 31st December 1929, that last Sunday of January 1930, would be celebrated as Swaraj Divas, all across India. would be celebrated as Swaraj Divas all across India. Swaraj Divas all across India. Change the para. Coincidentally, change the para. Coincidentally, it was 26 January on last Sunday. Coincidentally, it was 26 January on last Sunday. Which became Republic Day. After enforcement of Indian Constitution. Which became Republic Day after enforcement of Indian Constitution from 1950. After enforcement of Indian Constitution from 1950. Change the para. Altogether, demand for Swaraj and separate constitution. Altogether, demand for Swaraj and separate constitution. Was considered by British government. Through 1935 Act. Considered by British government through 1935 Act. However, constitution making process got delayed. Due to Second World War. Constitution making process got delayed due to Second World War. Change the para. Thereafter, in accordance to Cabinet Mission Plan 1945. Constituent Assembly election was held. Based on Cabinet Mission Plan 1945, Constituent Assembly election was held in July 1946. In July 1946, in which the seat allocations and results defined destiny of India. Defined destiny of India. Very important. It's a UPSC question. Define destiny of India. Accordingly, now you hold here for a few minutes, because now you got to know what is work culture. First we discuss, we write, and we write to the point we have discussed. Thereafter हम रुक जाते हैं, है ना? एक मिनट आप दे दो मुझे. देखो क्या है. Those who are attending from today, I would like to remind you that जब मैं बोलता हूँ ना, it's an important UPSC question. You put their Q only. That is that, and from every session, I'm talking about my session, every session take out all the Q, you will get lots of question of UPSC asked in previous years. Now, अब आप 5 मिनट ध्यान से देखो, और I will be letting you write also. I'm just projecting on board what were the equations. Based on Cabinet Mission Plan, once again, based on Cabinet Mission Plan, Constituent Assembly election was held in July 1946. In which the equation was like this. Total seat was 389. Fine. In which the seats were divided like this. 296 seats were given to provincial assemblies. All provincial assemblies, presidency, they were given 296 seats to fight election. And one more thing, please be clear. Constituent Assembly election was indirect election, because just like Rajya Sabha we elect, it is the state assembly which elect people, state elect which people to Rajya Sabha. So likewise, provincial assembly had to elect leaders, had to elect representative to participate in Constituent Assembly. So the total seat given to provincial assembly was 296, and 93 seats were given to princely states, which were 565 in numbers. 565 princely states थे उस समय, उनको 93 seats दिए गए कि you should also get elected, elect your representative and participate in constitution making. However, British government assured them that along with independence of India, you princely state may also go for independence. You may also stay independent. I repeat, you may also stay independent. Based on this assurance, none of the princely states participate in election process. They prefer to be staying independent. What happened thereafter, I will explain one by one, gradually. 93 seats, no, they did not participate. Now, and देखो मैं क्यों ऐसा कर रहा हूँ? Had I been giving you right and you are writing simultaneously. It happens in Delhi also. What happens? Faculty started speaking, giving lecture. Candidates are writing, looking at writing. Without getting things very properly, what is the meaning of writing? And as a result, what happened, आप देखो कि थोड़े समय के बाद, I'm not talking about anyone, I'm talking about myself, what my experience I have seen. कभी कभी होता है, मैं ऐसे देखता रहता हूँ, ऑनलाइन देखता रहता हूँ कि क्या रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं क्लास में, कौन फैकल्टी ले रहे हैं ये, तो देखता हूँ तो मुझे कभी कभी बहुत अपसेटिंग लगता है कि ये लड़के लड़कियां they have their majority belong to middle class family background, they have sliced out this much of amount of fees attending session and writing, struggling, trying to get the point, trying to write here, and some of them very sincere candidate getting frustrated also, and then coming out of this and not able to share with anyone. You can't even speak to your parents कि मैं I joined coaching. Delhi में खूब होता है ये कि I joined coaching, not able to get anything from the coaching. Then parents will also blast you off. When you are not able to select a right coach, how will you be an IAS officer tomorrow? Come back. चले आओ, तुम्हारे बस का नहीं है ये. तो सब तरफ से आप अकेले हो जाते हैं. So it should not happen ever. That is your responsibility. समझ रहे हैं ना बात को? इससे आप ऐसे देखो एक छोटी सी चीज को कि फर्स्ट इक्वेशंस कि इनको 389 सीट्स दिए गए टोटल. Out of 389 seats, 296 seats allocated to provincial assembly, 93 seats to princely state. Princely state did not participate in election based on British assurance that they will get independence along with independence of India. Now, out of 296 seats, when election was held, then what happened? 208 seat alone, Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress को 208 seat मिल गए. 72 seats मिले Muslim League को and 15 seats to independent candidate. Now, let me tell you, क्योंकि you people are young people of India and you are listening so many lectures कि गांधी divided, जिन्ना divide कर दिया, वो divide कर दिया, and UPSC asked question, was division unavoidable? ये बहुत important है, and you should not get carried away by any personal version, whosoever he or she may be. आप हमेशा logic पर जाओ, rational पर जाओ, record पर जाओ, what record says. Let me take you, I'm Indian, so take me as India's map. Result came out of 296 seats. 208 seats of Indian National Congress, it was from top to bottom of India, from northern India, central India, southern India. This is northwest side Punjab. This is northeast side Bengal. Now result came out 208 top to bottom, but northwestern side Muslim League in majority, northeastern side Muslim League in majority. It is like KCR party is in majority in Telangana, because of that they are having their own government. BJP is having majority in Delhi, because of that they are having their own government. KCR cannot say I would be prime minister, and Narendra Modi cannot say I would be chief minister of Telangana. तो ये जो सामने दिखा लोगों को, as soon as you are clear that northwestern part dominated by Muslim League sweeping majority, northeastern part dominated by Muslim League sweeping majority, based on that, almost all leaders holding their breath. My God, crack is visible. Crack दिखने लगा इंडिया में. Because demand for Pakistan already started in 1940. In Lahore conference it was. I'm not dealing those areas. Once again I'm clarifying. Like Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, उन्होंने सबसे पहले पाकिस्तान नाम सेलेक्ट किया था. Pak means holy, Stan land, holy land. So already demand for Pakistan was cropping up. But demand for Pakistan got huge support because of this result. And now, another point, take care. 208 Muslim League, 72, 15 independent candidates, they also started supporting this Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress was in huge majority, and as per parliamentary democracy, because we are parliamentary democracy, even British rule also had parliamentary democracy. Based on parliamentary democracy, Indian National Congress, based on majority, claimed to form government. Because Constituent Assembly has to play double role. Kya double role? On one hand, the same Constituent Assembly had to work as interim government. On the other hand, same Constituent Assembly had to make Constitution of India. It was double role for Constituent Assembly. On one hand, it was interim government. On the other hand, it was constitution making. All of you in this class, be clear. Interim word is British word. Nowhere mentioned Indian Constitution. There are two types of government, interim government or caretaker government. What is the difference between interim government and caretaker government? देखो एकदम से मैं I cannot isolate remaining topic. It's not possible. So I need to explain some area where it is very much relevant in India's independence. देखो, what is interim and what is caretaker? If a prime minister is going to face election, that is called interim prime minister as per British tradition. Nehru was going to face election. Election was first ever held in, तुम लोग को यार नहीं सोचो तो कब हुआ? 51 शुरू हुआ, 52 कंक्लूड हुआ. फर्स्ट एवर इलेक्शन वाज हेल्ड. लोकसभा इलेक्शन आई एम आस्किंग, है ना, लोकसभा इलेक्शन. सो देखो ऐसे, when a government, it is British tradition, still we are following British tradition, that suppose a prime minister has completed term and for next term the prime minister is going to face election. Like once election is declared in 2024, then Narendra Modi would be called interim prime minister. But if the prime minister has lost majority on the floor of house and the president of India has asked the prime minister to continue till next prime minister comes, called caretaker prime minister. That means the prime minister has lost majority, he is referred as caretaker. If the prime minister is completed term and going for fresh election, called interim prime minister. These terms have been taken from British tradition. And this, अब देखो ये है ना ऐसे, अब देखो यूपीएससी कैसे क्वेश्चन करती है. यूपीएससी विल नेवर आस्क यू इंटरिम प्राइम मिनिस्टर और केयरटेकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर राइट द डिफरेंस. इतना बेवकूफ है. वो सेलेक्ट करते हैं कैंडिडेट को, एनालिटिकल कैंडिडेट. हाउ विल दे बी आस्किंग क्वेश्चन? यूपीएससी देखो क्वेश्चन. Indian Constitution is not only sustained by provision but equally sustained by British traditions even today. How far do you agree? Discuss. जान निकाल दी. समझते समझते समय निकल जाता है. British Indian Constitution based on provision along with tradition, and now few provision you have to write, few tradition you have to write, which have been taken from, and that too within 8 minutes 150 words. तभी इतना बार बार अलर्ट कर रहा हूं ना, क्योंकि एक बात जानते हो, हम लोग का मोस्ट अनफॉर्चुनेट पार्ट ऑफ आवर प्रोफेशनल लाइफ इज एवरी ईयर वी लूज thousands candidate because selected candidates are few in number. But we are more concerned about those who lost the battle and talented they are. हम लोग रिजल्ट जब होता है, ऑनेस्टली बताने की जरूरत है. आई एम ऑनेस्ट, बट ये सेवन दिन आई वुड से मैं डिप्रेशन में आ जाता हूँ जनरली जब रिजल्ट होता है तो. क्योंकि होता क्या है, यू गेट इमोशनली कनेक्टेड ऑल्सो विद सम कैंडिडेट, प्रोफेशनली कनेक्टेड, एंड व्हेन रिजल्ट केम आउट, फेल टू क्वालिफाई. तो देखता रहा, रिजल्ट देखा तो नंबर ऑफ बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स स्टार्ट हिटिंग माइंड. अरे यार उसका नहीं हुआ, उसका नहीं हुआ, उसका नहीं हुआ. क्वेश्चन इज दोज हु गॉट सेलेक्टेड, उनको लोग माला पहना रहे हैं, लेकिन हम भूल जाते हैं कि those who got rejected, some of them are far better candidate than those who getting selected, but they failed to qualify because of the reaction time is slow. तो उससे वो कोई पाप नहीं है ना कहीं हार्ट में तो रहता है, माइंड में रहता है कि वो कैंडिडेट आता है यार बहुत अच्छा ऑफिसर होता है, वो क्या यार कैसे. फिर होता है वो जब मिलने आया, सर तू खुद लो होता है, सर may I have you 5 minutes है. Why 5 minutes यार? But yes, कुछ को बोल देते हैं, no please. ह्यूमन है, क्योंकि लगा ये कैजुअल है, ये ऐसे ही चलेगा, ये करता नहीं कुछ, ये करती नहीं है कुछ, why to waste time. लेकिन मेजोरिटी आर नॉट लाइक दैट, फ्यू लाइक दैट. तो मेजोरिटी ऐसे जो होते हैं, yes you come there at that point of time, I would be there. कर लिया, फिर बैठा है, फिर से सेट करो स्टडी. It's not question of me. It's a question of one person. It's not like that. It's a teamwork. But yes, I'm talking about my concern. So let me tell you once again that this point comes in your mind, that out of few points should come in your mind, so that you should understand. Thereafter, you should write logically that division was unavoidable. It's a, no one can be held responsible for that. If anything was responsible, that is result of Constituent Assembly. Getting the point? In the Constituent Assembly result, what happened? It was sweeping majority to Congress, of course, and majority of Muslim League in northeastern part and northwestern part. Northwestern part, you know, Punjab, that was West Punjab became West Pakistan later on. East Punjab with India. Likewise in Bengal, East Bengal become East Pakistan, West Bengal with India even today. We have no East Bengal now, but even then we are calling that state West Bengal. हम उसका कोलकाता, कैलकाटा से कोलकाता कर दिया. You should have changed name of West Bengal to Bengal. बंगाल होना चाहिए, उसका वेस्ट बंगाल क्यों होना चाहिए? There is no East Bengal. So like that, but yes, this is all political. We are not supposed to discuss any politics. Yes, I repeat one simple thing to understand. So first thing, result itself clarified, and that was morale booster for Muslim League to demand for separate state Pakistan. One. Second was that Congress got majority. Based on that, Lord Webber, then Viceroy, invited Nehru to form the government. Why invited Nehru? Because Nehru, ऐसा मत करो यार, तुम लोग IAS बनने जा रहे हो, मुंह में पेन लेके ऐसे करते हैं क्या? ये बच्चे करते हैं स्कूल में. चेंज करो ये सब चीज. कभी ऐसे करते हो, ये बॉडी लैंग्वेज होगा तो कहाँ जाओगे? चेंज करना चाहिए ना. आप IAS बनने जा रहे हो. It's not small thing. It's a combination of lots of factor, your language plus your body language factor. ये सब बच्चे करते हैं ना. पेरेंट्स देखेंगे तो क्या सोचेंगे? And suppose you are handling essay and thereafter someone asking, what are you doing? Preparing for civil service. इतना ऑड लगेगा ना, सामने वाले को भी लगेगा यार कोई भी तैयार करने लगता है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इतनी अच्छी पर्सनालिटी है, मेंटेन दैट. को ऐसे करेक्शन करो ऐसी पर्सनालिटी को. आई एम टुडे आई वुड बी लिविंग यू बैक. मुझे क्या करना है तुमसे, लेकिन अगर करेक्शन हो सकता है तो कर देते कि लेट इट बी. कुड यू गेट द पॉइंट? खूब अच्छे से तैयार करो. इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट तैयार करो. शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड इन ऑल रिस्पेक्ट. सी वेरी सिंपल थिंग. फर्स्ट पॉइंट वाज dominance of Muslim League in northwestern part and northeastern part made it clear that division seems to be unavoidable. Point one. Point two, because Muslim League demanded separate Pakistan, their logic was they are of course in minority in total result, but they are in majority in northwest and northeastern province, which they are asking for Pakistan. So their demand is very valid. If Congress can form India based on their majority, why not Muslim League can form Pakistan based on their majority in their area? Fine. Another reason was that Lord Webber, then Viceroy, invited Nehru to form the government because Congress was in majority, and in parliamentary democracy, the party holding majority is always invited to form the government. So Nehru formed the government. Jinnah says, no way. We are also in majority. Lord Webber say, we are also. Also word is not applicable in parliamentary democracy. Total majority Congress is having. But yes, you may participate in the government. Liaquat Ali Khan, who became Prime Minister of Pakistan, Liaquat Ali Khan was inducted by, of course, that Nehru government as Finance Minister. Key role दिया कि पैसा आप ही control करो, आ जाओ Finance Minister बन जाओ. But Jinnah says he is from Muslim League. Of course, he would be Finance Minister. Thank you so much. But I was not sitting with them. Thank you so much. I'm trying to make you understand this way. Thank you so much. But this finance minister would not be answerable to Prime Minister Nehru. This finance minister would be answerable directly to Viceroy. Nehru say, we are parliamentary democracy. We are replicating parliamentary democracy. The government will be on parliamentary democracy where the ministers are accountable to the Prime Minister. How can he be directly accountable to Viceroy? Liaquat Ali Khan, not acceptable? No, resign. Congress was frustrated. Naturally, how is it possible? Thereafter, Jinnah, naturally, his demand for Pakistan further cropped up. First point was because of majority. Second point, already I explained you, because of non-participation in government. Third point Jinnah raised, that what it was. Jinnah says, we want Islamic State Pakistan. Now, some leaders, your young mind should not get carried away. Indian, some leader also started demanding a separate Hindu state. ये हिंदू मुस्लिम सिविल सर्विसेज कॉपी में मत करना, नहीं तो आपकी कॉपी रिजेक्ट हो जाएगी, बहुत अंडरमाइन कर दिया जाएगा आपको, क्योंकि यू आर नॉट सपोज टू बी दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन. You should be quite objective and rational person. So I repeat, what you are supposed to write there? You are supposed to write there that since Pakistan was going to be Islamic state and Congress favored secular state, not Hindu state, secular state where all the religion participated in freedom movement equally. Sardar Udham Singh bhi the, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad bhi the, Nehru bhi the, Annie Besant bhi thi. Lots of people don't recognize Annie Besant because you see, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi had not become Mahatma had Annie Besant would not have introduced him. I repeat, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi has come back to India in 1915 from South Africa. And in 1916 Lucknow conference, you'd be studying in modern history in detail. In 1916 Lucknow conference, moderate extremists were fighting against each other. They were not ready to accept any leader from either side. And Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi had no identity. That point of time, it was Annie Besant who introduced Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi कि he will lead Indian National Congress, he will lead your movement, not Indian National Congress, he will lead your movement because he is neither tagged as moderate nor tagged as extremist at that point of time. And thereafter, the movement started leadership of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who later on emerged as Mahatma. Still debate is going on. बहुत लोग, मैं नाम लेना नहीं चाहता हूं ऑनलाइन, बहुत लोग ऐसे हैं जो अभी भी बोलते हैं I will not call him Mahatma. He is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Why should I call him Mahatma? अरे who are you? Are you going to certify? Who is waiting for your certificate? That better you call, don't call. Tomorrow you say I won't call Netaji, I will call Subhash. That is your problem. First thing, what your authority you are holding, that you are nobody to recognize someone Mahatma or no Mahatma. This is it. So I repeat, one simple thing to understand why I'm dealing all these things, clarifying you, because you are a younger mind. आप जैसे सुनते हैं तो आप भी influence होने लगते हैं. And if you are going for journalism, that is fine. If you are going for civil services, that's not fine. You should be highly rational and objective in your answer. So I repeat here, based on this result, ultimately, I repeat once again. देखो, first point was result. Let me make you understand properly once again. Based on result, demand for Pakistan got support. Second point, based on formation of government, Muslim League boycotted, demand for Pakistan further grew up. Another thing, based on this demand that Pakistan would be an Islamic state, Congress said India would be a secular state. There cannot be any compromise between secular state and Islamic state. How can India be Islamic state? How can Pakistan be a secular state? Pakistan इसलिए तैयार नहीं था कि we would not be secular state, we would be Islamic state. India, of course, was not at all going for Hindu state. India was going for secular state to give importance to all the religion, because all the religion fought the freedom movement. When you are fighting over this ideological issue that we would be secular, you would be Islamic, how can we be able to compromise? And finally, one more point, so that you'd be writing it point-wise. One more point. Indian National Congress, which had majority in Constituent Assembly, ये बहुत important है, ध्यान रखना. Indian National Congress, which got majority in Constituent Assembly, they decided to prepare main draft of Constitution. And thereafter, they said that after formation of main draft, Muslim League will participate. What is main draft of Constitution? Main draft of Constitution became preamble of Constitution, like a roadmap I set in the class. Roadmap I am setting because I am the leader of the class, I am the mentor. Roadmap I am setting. Likewise, when Constituent Assembly said that Congress is in majority, so Congress will prepare draft of main draft of Constitution. The same main draft will become preamble of Constitution, and preamble is philosophy, direction, objective, ideals of Constitution. Then Jinnah further raised the voice. We will not have participation in draft committee. No, sir. Once draft is ready, thereafter we will start making Constitution. You will participate. Jinnah said, how can? No, sir. You are not in majority. We are in majority, we will prepare main draft, thereafter you participate. Say, in main draft, if you did not leave anything, in main draft, you did not leave anything. Because of this reason, all you young people of India, because of this reason, the word secular was not added in the draft preamble at that point of time. क्योंकि आप अगर secular जोड़ देते उसी समय में, had you been added secular at that point of time, then Jinnah would have got a ground to say, no, not at all. You are going for secular, we are going for Islamic, no question of compromise. Because of that, to invite Jinnah, anyhow, to avoid division, we did not mention that. Are you getting all of you till last row? Samajh rahe na? Very good, nice. Now you see what happened. Gradually, things started working, and in same July, August, September, 2nd September, Nehru took charge as interim Prime Minister. Jinnah said direct action. It was cover name. Direct action means जो करना है करो. Violence, this is the only way out. हम लेंगे Pakistan. Violence started. Even then, Constituent Assembly held informal meeting on 9th December 1946. कौन थे chairperson informal meeting के? Dr. Sachidanand Sinha. He was genius of law. Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, he was chairperson of informal meeting on 9th December 1946. Why informal meeting was held of Constituent Assembly? Because Constituent Assembly wanted to have participation of Muslim League. Just to make you understand this way, entire Constituent Assembly is sitting, and time and again, if you go on YouTube and watch that, it will be very touching scene for you. You always go on YouTube, watch all Tashkent agreement you are studying, watch on YouTube. इसका impact पड़ेगा आप पर. So देखो क्या हुआ? When you see Constituent Assembly 9 December 1946 informal meeting is going on. Every member you will find on YouTube, time and again, looking at door side. What they had been looking for? Muslim League. That if Muslim League comes, we can make out. If Muslim League comes, Muslim League totally boycotted. Thereafter, no way out. On 11th December, just after today, 11th December 1946, Constituent Assembly decided we accept division. आप कितना painful moment होगा वो सोचो. We accept division. We have no choice. We accept division. And now we should start our constitution making. Constitution making started from 11th December 1946, and that constitution making started, and based on that constitution making ultimately concluded on 24th November 1950 and 26th November 1950, our constitution came into action. So all of you know this way constitution making completed, and simultaneously what happened? India got independence as per Indian Independence Act 1947, in which India and Pakistan got independence, and 565 princely states had three choices. They may accede to India, they may accede to Pakistan, or they may stay independent. Why majority of them could not dare to stay independent, that I will explain you with argument. I am not. Who am I? That means whatever I would be giving you based on records, based on logic, what logic is. So here we are having our points regarding Constituent Assembly result. Now I would request all of you, you write this equation first, and thereafter we will be writing further. 389, in bracket you write here, total seats allocated to Constituent Assembly. 389, total seats allocated to Constituent Assembly. Total seats allocated to Constituent Assembly, in bracket 389. Then 296, in bracket you write, two part 296, 93. In 296 you write seats allocated to seats allocated to provincial assembly. Seats allocated to provincial assembly. Seats allocated to provincial assembly to elect representative. Seats allocated to provincial assembly to elect representative for constituent assembly. To elect representative for constituent assembly. Elect representative for constituent assembly. Then regarding 93 you write here, 93 you write, seats allocated to princely states, seats allocated to princely states to participate in constitution making. Seats allocated to princely state to participate in constitution making. To participate in constitution making. However, same line, however, British assured them of independence. British assured them of independence. So, British assured them of independence. So, princely states did not participate. So, princely states did not participate. So, princely states did not participate. Thereafter, 296 where you have written, you may write in your own way, no problem. 296, thereafter you divide 296 into 208, 72, 15. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Slip 73. Very extremely sorry, slip 208, 73 and 15. In which you write 208, 73 and 15, and in bottom you write thereafter 208 seats. 208 seats was sweeping majority. 208 seats was sweeping majority for Congress, Indian National Congress, was sweeping majority for the Congress. Majority from the for the Congress. 15 had been independent. 15 had been independent. 15 had been independent. But Muslim League got 73 seats. Muslim League got 73 seats. 73 seats. They had been holding majority. They had been holding majority in northeastern Bengal region. They had been holding majority in northeastern Bengal region. Northeastern Bengal region and northwestern Punjab region. Northeastern Bengal region and northwestern, they had been holding majority in northeastern Bengal region and northwestern Punjab region. Northeastern Bengal region and northwestern Punjab region. Change the para. Based on majority of Muslim League, based on majority of Muslim League, demand for separate state Pakistan, based on majority of Muslim League, demand for separate Islamic state Pakistan, demand for separate Islamic state Pakistan, demand for separate state Pakistan came up. Demand for separate state Pakistan came up, in which later on East Bengal became East Pakistan. In which later on East Bengal became East Pakistan. East Bengal became East Pakistan. West Bengal became part of India. West Bengal became part of India. Part of India. Change the para. Similarly, West Punjab became West Pakistan. Similarly, West Punjab became West Pakistan, and East Punjab became part of India. East Punjab became part of India. East Punjab became part of India. Change the para. Demand for separate Pakistan. Demand for separate Pakistan was based on following factors. It's a very important UPSC question. Was division unavoidable? Demand for Pakistan was based on following factors. It's a UPSC question based on following factors dash 0.1234. Point 1. Majority of Muslim League. Point 1. Majority of Muslim League in eastern and western part. Majority of Muslim League in eastern and western part. Eastern and western part. Point 1. Point 2. Demand for Islamic State. Demand for Islamic State Pakistan. Demand for Islamic State Pakistan. While Congress favored secular state India. While Congress favored secular state India. Congress favored secular state India. Point 3. Muslim League had no participation in draft. Muslim League had no participation in draft of Indian Constitution. Muslim League has no participation in draft making of Indian Constitution. In draft making of Indian Constitution because of record majority of Congress. Because of record majority of Congress. Because of record majority of Congress, which led to boycott by Muslim League. Which led to boycott by Muslim League. Boycott by Muslim League. Change the para. However, based on majority of Congress, Nehru being leader of Congress party, based on majority of Congress, Nehru being leader of Congress party, was invited to form government, interim government, because Constituent Assembly had double role to play. Again, important point. Because Constituent Assembly had double role to play. Point 1, point 2. Point 1, leading the interim government. Constituent Assembly had double role to play. Point 1, leading the interim government. Point 1. Point 2, making of Constitution. Leading interim government. Point 2, making of Constitution. Change the para. After boycott by Muslim League. Change the para. After boycott by Muslim League, you write better this way. Even after boycott by Muslim League, you write this way. Even after boycott by Muslim League, Constituent Assembly, even after boycott by Muslim League, Constituent Assembly held informal meeting. Constituent Assembly held informal meeting on 9 December 1946. Constituent Assembly held informal meeting on 9 December 1946 under chairmanship of Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, under chairmanship of Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, under chairmanship of Dr. Sachidanand Sinha, but Muslim League continued to boycott. So, change the para again. So, formal meeting of Constituent Assembly. Change the para. So, formal meeting of Constituent Assembly was held. Formal meeting of Constituent Assembly was held on 11 December 1946. Formal meeting of Constituent Assembly was held on 11 December 1946 under chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Under chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who later on became first President of India. Under chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who later on became first President of India. Change the para, and very important question once again. Change the para. Division was formally accepted. Very painful it is. Change the para. Division was formally accepted on 11 December 1946. Division was formally accepted on 11 December 1946, which led to formation of separate state, Islamic State, Pakistan, along with independence of India, based on Indian Independence Act. Based on Indian Independence Act 1947. Based on Indian Independence Act 1947, in bracket you write one line in bracket, Mountbatten Plan. Just a minute, please. Let me complete. Based on Indian Independence Act 1947, in bracket you write Mountbatten Plan. Bracket Mountbatten. Everybody knows Mountbatten Plan, and close the bracket, and thereafter just one line you write, accordingly this act along with independence of India and Pakistan, provided three options to princely states. Dash point 1 to 3. Thereafter we will discuss three options of princely state. Point 1, they may integrate with India. Point 1. Point 2, they may integrate with Pakistan. Point 2, they may integrate with Pakistan. Point 3, they may stay independent. Point 3, they may stay independent. However, the decision of ruler. However, the decision of ruler of princely state. However, the decision of ruler of princely state has to be based on. Decision of ruler of princely state has to be based on plebiscite. Plebiscite, public opinion. ये सब बहुत कॉमन वर्ड है, आप कुछ लोग चौंकते हो. Plebiscite. Based on plebiscite, public opinion. Based on plebiscite, public opinion. What is called public opinion? Accordingly. फिर आप एक लाइन accordingly. Accordingly. And now you hold here just for 2-3 minutes. And while in momentum, please don't interrupt midway. Otherwise, others' consideration also get disturbed. What someone was asking? आप कुछ पूछे? Who was asking someone? Anyway, see. One thing, let me clarify you once again. It's a very important to understand that if you are asked this question, whether verbally or in writing, that was division of India avoidable? Was division of India unavoidable? What point you will raise? The point should be, और आप लोगों के लिए मैं बोलता रहता हूँ, तुम लड़के लड़कियां आप सब, all boys and girls, I request you, those who got selected, how do they face interview? How do they speak? Right from beginning of your preparation, you try to learn from them. It's not they are successful, they are better. You may be better than them. But make sure, are you really better than them? That means you are very sure candidate. But for that reason, whatever, as I was pointing out yesterday also, to develop your personality, whatever you study, suppose you are speaking before a mirror, you speaking like this. Suppose you are presuming yourself, you are speaking in front of some distinguished guest, and division of India was not avoidable. Then you say, sir, no one should be. Suppose you are speaking before mirror. How will you develop that confidence of writing and speaking? You would say, sir, just addressing this way, sir, division was unavoidable. No one should be held responsible for that. If anything was responsible, that was Constituent Assembly election, sir. And Constituent Assembly election means mandate of people representative, because it was not direct election. People directly did not elect them. They were elected by Provincial Assembly. So Provincial Assembly people elected them. Based on that election, sir, northern to central to southern India, dominated by Indian National Congress, they had been in majority, but yes, geographically, West Pakistan, that became West Punjab, and East Bengal, dominated by Muslim League, sir. This was first very important reason. Based on the dominance of Muslim League in West and East part of India, division became unavoidable. One. Second, Muslim League demanded Islamic State Pakistan, sir. We had dream of secular state India, sir. A secular concept and Islamic concept can never ever be compromised, sir. Had there been compromise, either Pakistan had to be a secular state or India would have been an Islamic state. Neither way it is possible, sir. Thereafter, third point to say, based on majority of the Congress, that is basics of parliamentary democracy, sir. It was not Nehru's ambition, sir. Don't make any personal allegation against any leader. The question is, Nehru was elected leader of Congress party by Congress based on their majority. That is the basis of parliamentary democracy. Rishi Sunak is prime minister. Naturally, because he is holding majority in his party. Narendra Modi is prime minister because he is holding majority in his party. Any party member cannot become prime minister unless he is holding that majority. So Nehru was holding majority, because of that he was appointed prime minister. No, he was ambitious. What is wrong if he is ambitious? ये कुछ जो अब नाम लेना अच्छा नहीं होता है, ये जो आते हैं ना YouTube पर, टीवी पर, वो पर्सनल व्यू इतना शाउट करते हैं, पर्सनल पुटिंग पर्सनल व्यू, जिन्ना ने ये कि अरे जिन्ना इलेक्शन नॉनसेंस, छोड़ दो उसको, है ना. ये बहुत नॉनसेंस. जैसे क्या, और वी प्रोफेशनल्स आर वेरी मच कंसर्न अबाउट यूथ ऑफ इंडिया. आप जो यूथ हैं, सेंसिटिव यूथ हैं, तो इनकुलकेट, पॉल्यूशन को कोई रोक नहीं सकता है ना, कंटिन्यूअस पॉल्यूशन दे रहे। लॉजिक पर आओ, लॉजिक क्या था, व्हाट वाज द लॉजिक? सो based on these factors, I have given you write up also, getting the point. Based on these factors, India and Pakistan got divided, and all of you in this class, you know, name was Indian Independence Act. Pakistan took birth from Indian Independence Act. There was no separate Pakistan Independence Act. Pakistan got independence from Indian Independence Act, but Pakistan got independence one day before India. Why it was? Simple. थोड़ा सा reasoning करो. Geographically, we are half an hour behind. है ना? हमारे यहाँ जब 12 o'clock हुआ night का, 12 o'clock. Can you imagine the moment? And we got independence. When it was 12 o'clock night in India, it was 11:30 in Pakistan, because we are half an hour behind from Pakistan. So Pakistan got independence on 14th August, we got independence 15th August. कुछ को आप बोलते देखो, फिर I am not supposed to name. We fought, ऐसे बोलेंगे, we fought. Why should Pakistan be granted independence before India? अबे सुनते रहते यार, क्या बोल रहे हो यार? अब कल को बोलोगे कि why UK is having 4.5 hours behind from us. ज्योग्राफी से पूछो, लोग से क्यों पूछते हो? इंडियन इंटरनेशनल डेट लाइन से पूछो. That is the pattern of deciding time. So it was independence of Pakistan, 14th August, independence of India, 15th August. And princely states 565 got 3 options. One option was acceding to India. Acceding means integration to India, integration to Pakistan, or staying independent. However, ruler of princely state won't decide by their own. They have to act per the act, Indian Independence Act. The ruler had to decide based on plebiscite. Plebiscite means taking public opinion. What public says, accordingly they have to decide. Now, based on that, the point is stopped here. Now give me 2-3 minutes more to explain, thereafter you'd be writing. See, out of 565 princely states, sweeping majority princely state went for plebiscite and decided to accede to India or accede to Pakistan based on plebiscite. They did not decide for independence. Why so? Why so? I tell you why so. Because had they been independent, they had to take care of 3 things: their border security, independent state, their border security, their communication and transport system, and their foreign affairs. If it is foreign affairs, then every princely ruler had to develop embassy all across the globe. ये जो हम लोग पढ़ते हैं ना, सरदार पटेल played lead role in integrating all the princely states of India. Sardar Patel played role in case of Hyderabad, Junagadh and Jammu Kashmir. Other princely states, they themselves decided to accede to India or Pakistan because they could not afford having their embassy all across the globe. घर बनाने का पैसा नहीं है, embassy बनाएंगे, है ना? तो वो तो खुद ही जान रहे थे कि they won't be able to, if they are going to be independent state, they have to open embassy all across the globe. अरे embassy खोलना अपनी बात है, खोल दो. How do you maintain? मेंटेन कैसे करोगे? स्टाफ कहां से, कर्टन कहां से खरीदोगे, बनाओगे कहां से? It needs money, continuous money. Even today, don't you think in African Union itself, see, Chinese embassy is gradually opening up, Indian embassy closing up. Why so? Because China is getting lots of trade, technology contract in Africa, and we are not able to get that contract. Because of that, we are not able to afford our embassy. We are closing them and they are opening up. Gradually बहुत चीजें पढ़ोगे ना, और young mind है ना, you are multiple direction, you are correlating. You would be. So I repeat here. So all princely states, once again, they decided based on their plebiscite, and plebiscite was favor of India, favor of Pakistan, as per their geographical proximity and mindset of people. Accordingly, they got integrated. Only 3 princely states remained in controversy. And first comes Jammu Kashmir, then come Junagadh, then come Hyderabad, where we are today. Fine. Now, for a few minutes, just to hear me. Regarding Jammu Kashmir, you'd be studying three points. Today, I am giving you Jammu Kashmir, a special status, what it is. In polity governance, even I will also give you a brief of how 370 was removed, what was the process. And thereafter, you will study in polity governance also. You will study international relation also, Indo-Pak relation, in which Jammu Kashmir is core issue. You will study internal security also. In internal security, cross-border terror, Jammu Kashmir, once again you would be studying. So, now let me tell you, Jammu Kashmir was keeping, first take up Jammu Kashmir, few minutes just. Maharaja Hari Singh was keeping quiet. It was 15th August 1947, independence. By last week of August, all princely states almost decided. It was September, Maharaja Hari Singh quiet. September passing on, Maharaja Hari Singh not decided. When Maharaja Hari Singh was asked by Government of India, by naturally British Crown also, ki what you are going to have, Maharaja Hari Singh says that our confusion is that we are, if I decide, or if we go for plebiscite, we are divided people. We have Muslim population, Hindu population. If suppose plebiscite goes in favor of Pakistan, then Hindu will oppose. If it goes in favor of India, then Muslim will oppose. In either case, there would be Hindu-Muslim riot in Jammu Kashmir. Because of that, I am holding quiet. अच्छा बहाना खोजा. वो तो खुद चाहते थे because they wanted to stay independent. But what happened? Because of his being Maharaja Hari Singh साहब थे ना, तो naturally Pakistan having doubt over Maharaja Hari Singh intention. कि why is he keeping quiet? And doubt is very dangerous thing. Doubt spoils relationship. So naturally Pakistan was looking at, India also looking at, because we celebrating our independence, Pakistan celebrating their independence, but both of them having laddu in their hand, even then looking at laddu of Jammu Kashmir. ये क्या करता है? Jammu Kashmir is geopolitically very significant area. Now, naturally, Pakistan has come out from our body. तो छोटा है तो थोड़ा पेशेंस नहीं होगा ना. हम लोग मैच्योर है, सीजनड है, तो वी हैड बीन कीपिंग क्वाइट. इट्स जस्ट टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. डोंट राइट दिस थिंग, जस्ट टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. सो इट इज लाइक नॉट समथिंग यूड बी स्टडिंग लेटर ऑन. एक छोटी सी बात आपको बताते, देखो ये जो ईस्ट वेस्ट और ईस्ट पाकिस्तान बना, दिस वेस्ट एंड ईस्ट पाकिस्तान यूनिक कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड इट फॉर्म. Why it is? There is no geographical connection. If you take my two here as West Pakistan, East Pakistan, क्या connection है बताओ? Arabian Ocean, Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal, 6,000 किलोमीटर. 600 किलोमीटर पर तो दो कंट्री रहेगा नहीं. 6,000 किलोमीटर कौन दो कंट्री रहेगा? तो ये वेस्ट पाकिस्तान, ईस्ट पाकिस्तान मांग लेना अपनी बात है. मांग तो कुछ भी ले सकते हो और मिल भी गया. लेकिन वेस्ट पाकिस्तान, ईस्ट पाकिस्तान जोग्राफिकली नॉट कनेक्टेड एंड वी आर सॉवरेन कंट्री. वी वोंट अलाउ देम ऐसे बीच से पार करो. We won't allow them. So naturally, they had no geographical connection. Apart from that, they themselves got divided. There is a UPSC question, indirect role of India in making of Bangladesh. It was indirect role. I will tell you in Indira Gandhi era. What I am telling you today, India did not play any role directly because of the fact there was geographical division, already geographical isolation, plus it is Bangla culture. East Pakistan is Bangla culture. वेस्ट पाकिस्तान इज पश्तून, पठान्स कल्चर. पठान और बंगाली एक साथ कैसे खाएगा? वो रसगुल्ला खाएगा, ये बकरा से नीचे बात ही नहीं करेगा. तो कहां आपका कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो सकता है? तो ये पठान कल्चर, ये पश्तून पठान टिपिकल रफ कल्चर, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड Bangla culture. Plus another resentment, Dhaka was seat of rise of Muslim League and capital became Islamabad. तो इसको गुस्सा लगेगा या नहीं लगेगा? हम लोगों ने इस पे क्या किया? नाउ इस्लामाबाद कैपिटल, एक्सिक्यूटिव लेजिस्लेचर जुडिशरी इन इस्लामाबाद, एम्बेसी इस्लामाबाद, ISI इस्लामाबाद, फॉरेन एम्बेसी इस्लामाबाद, president, prime minister all sitting in Islamabad. Nothing was in Dhaka, which was the birthplace of Muslim League. तो East Pakistan started shouting कि हमको दिया क्या? And when the two brothers, one brother is IAS officer having huge Bangalore, another one unemployed and not taken care by father also. In that case, naturally, the younger brother would like to separate from the family. And if he prefers to get separated from the family, naturally some people would be asking him, निकल जा, निकल जा, निकल गया. हम उस पर डायरेक्टली उसको थोड़े बोले इस पाकिस्तान को तो बांग्लादेश बन जाओ. वो खुद चाह रहे थे अलग होना. हाँ, ये था. Naturally, one more thing, I will explain that in Indira Gandhi. Here is very much temptation. Why did we interfere indirectly also? It was because they are refugee coming to India. In 1970, we had been fighting against poverty, unemployment, basic, and 90,000, 80,000 and 90,000 refugee coming to India from. Then you ask one, why not India stopped refugee? आप रोक करके दिखा दो आज. चलो बॉर्डर पर मैं खड़ा करता हूँ. आप पूरा बॉर्डर ओपन है, आप कैसे किसको रोक देंगे? That too, huge number of poverty-stricken people, half-naked people coming to India. BSF, ITBP, all are standing there. SSB is standing there. वो क्या करेगा? उनको शूट कर देगा क्या? कितने को मारोगे? They are ready to die. Already they had been dying in East Bengal. समझते हैं इन चीजों को? आप जब लिखेंगे ना कॉपी में, one thing you always keep in mind, you're to the point, everything you write. Thereafter you see, people would say, अरे इसका रैंक इतना कैसे हाई हुआ? ये तो पढ़ता ही नहीं था. He was not studying at all. It's a very common perception, but you will find such candidates who are very pinpointed, very focused, very rational in writing and speaking, studying for 2, 3 hours, 5 hours in maximum and making ranks. Another one, you will find lots of people sitting behind caves. Caves में गुफा में बैठे रहते हैं, संत जैसे हो गए, 5-year plan run कर रहे हैं, not able to crack one prelims. That in spite of being knowledgeable, because they don't have that kind of strategy or communication or writing skill, वो fail कर जाते हैं. So make sure, I repeat this way, Jammu Kashmir was keeping quiet and so Pakistan lost patience. Pakistan supported Azad Kashmir Force. Please take care of this line. आप में से कोई बताओ, मैच्योर हो आप लोग, बहुत स्मार्ट कैंडिडेट हो, इसलिए मैं एक्सपेक्ट करके पूछता हूँ. जब आप कुछ भी नहीं रिस्पॉन्ड करते हो तो छोड़ दो. आपसे अगर कोई पूछे कि यू ऑलवेज रीड वेरी कॉमन थिंग, पाकिस्तान सपोर्टेड आजाद कश्मीर फोर्स, हाउ कुड यू से इट वाज पाकिस्तान सपोर्टेड? व्हाट इज द एविडेंस? देन यू वुड से ये पढ़ने के लिए बैठते हो आप, है ना. हम अगर आपको 10 बुक रिकमेंड कर देंगे तो यू वुड बी अंडर प्रेशर. ऑन द कंट्री, आई एम सपोज टू गो थ्रू दोज बुक्स and giving you filtered point. Why it was called Pak supported? Because I will give you further. Just like Kargil, when Indian army retaliated and shot them down, their body was searched. From their private part, we got I-card of Pakistani regular army. That is put before UNO in evidence. Not only in Jammu Kashmir fight, it was in Kargil conflict also. We have put this evidence before UNO. See, this is proxy war, sir. They are fighting by regular army, they are fighting by changing their uniform, and because of that it is referred as proxy war, referred as cross-border terror. आप समझते हैं? कारगिल को आपको बताएंगे. When I'll be dealing with Atal Bihari Vajpayee, I'll be taking you for geopolitics of Kargil. In Kargil, the way they had been fighting in Indian Army within 2 days, from 26 May to 28 May, they could make out कि ये आर्मी लड़ रही है, ये पठान सूट में है उनकी आर्मी, ये लड़ रही है हमसे, क्योंकि इतना seasoned way of fighting. No terrorist can fight with Indian Army, because Indian Army is very highly professionally trained army, one of the best army in the world. And that army is sustaining heat of terrorists. No one can accept. It was because of the fact that regular army personnel, and उनके साथ एक advantage, हमारा BSF का यूनिफॉर्म अलग है. हमारा BSF यूनिफॉर्म पूरा ऊपर से नीचे बदलेगा तो चेंज होगा. पाकिस्तानी रेंजर्स का यूनिफॉर्म जो है पठान सूट है, तो पठान सूट से यहाँ से निकाल दिया रेंजर्स, वो टेरर हो गया. यहाँ लगा दिया रेंजर, पाकिस्तानी रेंजर हो गया. तो सिर्फ एक लेवल ही तो हटाना होता है. हम तो पूरा उतारेंगे तब दूसरा पहनेंगे. It's not that we are Indian, because of that we are condemning. It's because based on evidence. Based on evidence. So what happened? Pakistan supported Azad Kashmir Force carried out attack on Jammu Kashmir. On which date? कोई बात नहीं, मैं पूछ नहीं रहा हूं, मैं एक्टिवेट करता हूं आप लोग को कि अगर रियली इफ यू वांट टू क्रैक दिस एग्जामिनेशन वन गो, डेट्स आर नॉट डेट्स. दैट इज योर लाइक 15 देखा डिवीजन ऑफ इंडिया. सम ऑफ यू राइट विथ कंसर्न division, some of you write simply division of India. That makes huge difference. आप देखोगे ये चीज, if you carry these things further, even in interview you will find certain candidates speaking like this. You are from Telangana? Yes sir, I am from Telangana. Farmers recently committed suicide in Telangana in spite of the fact your state government has launched number of schemes. What is going wrong? Yes, sir. Farmers committed suicide. Sir, it is 536 farmers committed suicide in that area, sir. Are you counting bodies? क्योंकि उसके फेस पर कोई कंसर्न ही नहीं है. Wanted to become IAS officer. And फेस पर कोई कंसर्न नहीं है. And that to say 536. Are you sure? Sir, no, sir, I'm not sure. Are you smiling? Because your father is not a farmer. अब देखो, उसने चौपट खुद किया बोर्ड का. Board is in very lively mood to give. They are your good friends. They always try to boost you up. They always try to take the best out of you. But if you offend them this way, उसके बाद देखो क्या नंबर देते हैं. 112, 113. वो भी चेयरमैन बोल देते हैं कि वो तो डिस्क्लोज ही नहीं करते मेंबर को. सीधा 112, 113 दिया, सील लगाया, भेज दिया. Whole year, just because of the fact he is uncourteous. When you are dealing with farmer suicide, dealing with gang rape, dealing with brutalization of women, and thereafter you are smiling, who will take you in the system? इतना न्यूट्रल इंसान को कौन लेगा? इसलिए मैं आपको अभी से याद दिला रहा हूं कि body language, your language, whatever language you are using, that language also needs time to improve. But body language needs a huge time to improve. That could not be improved on the call of interview. So right from beginning, it should be a concern, what is called concept, concern, confidence. CCC is the criteria. Concept you should have, concern you should have, and when you have concept and concern as well, concept means you know child labor. Concern, you have already interacted with child labor. You know the pain of child labor. And that generates confidence in you that you can write and speak very well on child labor. That is it, that I am trying to. And you can understand, मैं जितना अभी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि आई एम ऑल्सो नेचुरली बिफोर गोइंग बैक एक फील होता है कि यस इट्स नॉट क्वेश्चन ऑफ दिस पार्ट कंप्लीटेड, इट्स क्वेश्चन ऑफ एन एटीट्यूडल चेंज हैज टू बी देयर. एप्टीट्यूड. सो आई रिपीट, it was Pakistan supported Azad Kashmir force carried out attack on 22nd October. On 24th of October, within 48 hours, that these are not dates, these are our memories, these are our concern. On 24th of October 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh contacted Government of India. Please provide us military help. Maharaja Hari Singh was refused by Nehru, Lord Mountbatten, Mahatma Gandhi even, he was alive at that point of time. He said, no. No military help. Why military help was refused? Common sense applied. Jammu Kashmir was that point of time a sovereign state. And entering into sovereign state with army is violation of international law unless the sovereign state in writing gives permission to enter into territory. Getting the point? जब तक जम्मू कश्मीर के महाराजा राइटिंग में लिख के नहीं देते, unless he has given in writing that yes, Indian army should come in, no chance. Because of that, that is the point where Sardar Patel, a deputy prime minister, come home minister, he said that yes, he was controlling, actually deputy prime minister controls army also. So he was the person who says, no, unless Maharaja you sign instrument of accession. Lots of people interpreted that India armed twisted Maharaja. India exploited Maharaja. What India exploited? Maharaja wanted military help from India. Did we ask Maharaja to come and ask military help? आप military help भी मांगने चले यार, मेरे पास क्यों चले जाते पाकिस्तान? तो हमारे पास आए हो तो हमारे कंडीशन पर आओगे ना. और आर्मी हमारी पर्सनल नहीं है. International law is there. UNO already formed in 1945. It was territory, sovereign territory. You are asking army to enter in. So Maharaja ultimately 22nd of October attack. 24th October Maharaja contacted. 26th of October. So much dilemma, 48 hours. Then Maharaja signed instrument of accession. By signing instrument of accession, 3 subject was handed over to India. Foreign affairs, border security, and communication system. Foreign affairs, border security. Some of you girls, boys also, all of you, but very potential you are. तुम लोग करो, एक बार में होगा तुम लोग का. सिर्फ एक focus बनाओ. That yes, whatever dates point, that should not be memorized. That should be in your what is called concept. The 22nd October attack, 24th October contact, and it's not question of 24th, 22nd. It's a question of that 48 hours Maharaja had taken to think over. So much was the dilemma. And thereafter, 26th October, Maharaja signed instrument of accession, handing over foreign affairs, communication and border security to India. As soon as he signed, Indian Army retaliated. Indian Army entered into Jammu Kashmir territory. And thereafter, to make you understand before you write, suppose it is Jammu Kashmir. Suppose it is Jammu Kashmir. It is Jhelum River, moving north to south. Naturally, this side is eastern bank, this side is western bank. And when army entered into Jammu Kashmir, Indian Army, then Azad Kashmir force could not sustain aggression of Indian Army. Indian Army was that professional. Of course, that point of time, it was British Army basically, British training, because India had just got independence. So army chased Azad Kashmir force. Azad Kashmir force, see, one simple event made history. Azad Kashmir force crossed Jhelum River and they blew up the bridge over Jhelum River. This was a stern bank. It is Uri in Baramulla district. Still it is Baramulla. Baramulla district, Uri. This is point Uri. After Uri, they crossed Jhelum River. Crossing Jhelum River, they blew off the bridge. Indian Army chasing Azad Kashmir force got stuck in Uri. Uri mein ruk gayi Indian Army. Indian Army could have made bridge, could have repaired bridge. But Nehru was Prime Minister of newly-born India. Nehru was fearing a full-scale war. And because of that, Nehru immediately contacted United Nations. Some people have different version when you are studying that had Nehru not contacted United Nations, India would have captured entire, India would have taken control. I repeat, had Nehru not contacted United Nations, India would have taken complete control of Kashmir. Samajh rahe ho? Getting the point properly? What would you answer here if you are really getting it? अगर कोई तुमसे पूछा कि this question is from you that India, Nehru contacted United Nations. United Nations. What was the logic of Nehru? Logic of Nehru was naturally that it was going to be full-scale war. Just after independence, no country can afford full-scale war. So Nehru, because of being Prime Minister of newly independent India, preferred to contact United Nations. Still, military experts say that had Nehru not contacted United Nations, then Indian Army would have crossed Jhelum River and would have taken complete control of Kashmir. But if and but is another name of history. We would have lost complete Kashmir. If this way is the speaking, then I would say, had Indira Gandhi been not assassinated, Rajiv Gandhi would not have become Prime Minister. Had Rajiv Gandhi would not have become Prime Minister, he would not have intervened in Sri Lanka. Had he not intervened in Sri Lanka, Prabhakaran would not have killed him. Had he been not killed, Narasimha Rao would not have become Prime Minister of India. Had करते करते पूरा history होता है. तो आप लोग से रिक्वेस्ट है, when you are preparing for civil services, if and but पर मत जाओ. जैसे अभी भी कुछ लोग बोलते हैं, had सरदार पटेल been Prime Minister of India. आप होते हैं had I been IAS officer of तेलंगाना. ये कोई लॉजिक है? आप हो जाओ फिर बात करो. तो ये आप माइनस करो. In this preparation you don't have that much of wastage. You can't afford. So I repeat here, Nehru, because of course Nehru was defensive Prime Minister. And what is wrong if the opening batsman is defensive? Opening batsman generally has to be opening batsman. समझ रहे हो? Symbolic. I am speaking to Prime Minister of newly independent India. Naturally, newly independent India Prime Minister. Do you think that you would be joining as an IPS officer in any district and next day you started encounter? ऐसे नहीं होगा. आपको थोड़ा कूल डाउन होना पड़ेगा. समझना होगा चीजों को. Whether encounter needed, not needed, what strategy is required to carry on encounter, whom to be encounter. It should not be fake encounter. What kind of preventive measure could be taken? पूरा होमवर्क करना होगा. ऐसे थोड़े उठे पुठे चले गए, ठोक के चले आए किसी को. ऐसे सिस्टम थोड़ी काम करता है. System does not work that way. So I repeat here one simple thing to understand. This is the reason that it was United Nations intervened. As soon as United Nations intervened, the matter went to United Nations, and United Nations was also new 1945, 1947, and what United Nations started debating there. The debate in United Nations was, United Nations said, plebiscite should be conducted in Jammu Kashmir immediately. But why plebiscite not conducted? because United Nations has put further condition that plebiscite could not be conducted in presence of foreign army. They did not say, are you getting the point properly? Not Indian army or Pakistani army. United Nations put condition officially that plebiscite in Jammu Kashmir could not be conducted in presence of foreign army. Foreign army means Indian army and as well as Pakistani army this side. So both the army should withdraw, then plebiscite would be conducted in Jammu Kashmir. But India said Pakistan attacked first, so Pakistan should go first. Pakistan say if we go first, the chance of India will take complete control of Kashmir. We will not go. पहले आप गाड़ी खत्म हो गई. Naturally, neither Pakistan got back nor India got back. As a result, discussion, debate. Can you imagine? Just like Indian judiciary, hearing after hearing chal raha hai. And ultimately what happened? On 31st December 1948, it is matter of 47. On 31st December 1948, midnight, UNO ultimately said, enough is enough. Declared that line as ceasefire line. That line was declared ceasefire line, and the same line was converted as line of control in 1972 Shimla Agreement. In 1972, that is called line of control. However, that is called line of control, but always it is uncontrolled. अभी क्लास चल रहा है, वहां फायरिंग चल रही होगी. इफ यू एवर विजिट लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल, कभी जाओ, जरूर देखना चाहिए. हमारा देश है, देखोगे ना बिल्डिंग्स, वहां पर देखोगे सारे बिल्डिंग्स पर आपको सब मोर्टार्स के आपके इम्पैक्ट मिलेंगे. जगह होल्स बने हुए. और देखोगे जो बीएसएफ पर्सनल, इफ यू आर गोइंग देयर विद परमिट, बीएसएफ पर्सनल आस्क यू प्लीज डोंट स्टैंड इन ओपन, कम दिस साइड. वहां सोचो कि अगर आप खड़े हैं वहां पर तो फिर फूलमाला चढ़ जाएगा, वो उधर से तुरंत चला देते हैं. और इट इज नॉट दैट दे ओनली ओपन फायर, वी आर ऑल्सो द सेम काइंड ऑफ. हम भी इधर से खड़े रहते हैं और देखते रहते हैं. देखिए कुछ लोग घूम घाम रहे, एक बार इधर से ओ थम, कोई नहीं सुना, लगाया तो if our side, ये चलता रहता है. And in this, can you imagine, in this situation, naturally that you'd be discussing Indo-Pak relation in international plus internal security, cross-border terror, what went wrong. So naturally, because of that, since Jammu Kashmir was finally made part of Indian Union under Article 1, I repeat, Jammu Kashmir was made part of Indian Union under Article 1, and Jammu Kashmir was given a special status under Article 370. A special status, what is special status? That means Jammu Kashmir will have its own constitution. Now, before you start writing, one thing should come in your mind. Why Jammu Kashmir was given separate constitution, separate special status? Why not Junagadh? Why not Hyderabad? You will reply, sir, I'm not wasting time to ask question. I'm not waiting for, I'm just activating you. You should think over it. The answer is, you would say, sir, Junagadh and Hyderabad had no external attack. Junagadh and Hyderabad acceded to Indian Union under different conditions. Jammu Kashmir was only princely state out of 565 which acceded to India under external attack. Since anyone acceded to India under external attack, because of that Jammu Kashmir was granted special status unlike Junagadh and Hyderabad. And what special status is, that today also I will give you something, and in polity governance also you'll be studying in detail. Now you point out accordingly that point was, and point out please fast a bit. Change the para. All princely states, change the para, all princely states decided integration with India or Pakistan. All princely states decided integration with India and Pakistan. Integration of India and Pakistan based on plebiscite. Integration of India and Pakistan based on plebiscite within short span of time. Within short span of time, except Jammu Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. except Jammu Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. Change the para. All princely states, it's another important question of UPSC that you are writing. All princely states prefer to get integrated. All princely states prefer to get integrated. Very important, once again I am reminding you, all princely states prefer to get integrated not because of any pressure from outside, not because of any pressure from outside, not because of any pressure from outside, but because of the fact that they could not, because of the fact that they could not afford, remind you important, because of the fact they could not afford opening of embassies. They could not afford opening up of embassies all across the globe. They could not afford opening up of embassy all across the globe. In addition, it was challenging. In addition, it was challenging for them. In addition, it was challenging for them to maintain border security. It was challenging for them to maintain border security by developing their own army. It was challenging for them to maintain border security by developing their own army. Change the para. However, Jammu Kashmir was keeping silence. Jammu Kashmir was keeping quiet, and its ruler Maharaja Hari Singh, was not holding plebiscite. Maharaja Hari Singh was not holding plebiscite. He had confusion that if plebiscite goes in favor of India, then Muslim will oppose. Plebiscite goes in favor of India, then Muslim will oppose. And if it goes in favor of Pakistan, then Hindus will oppose. Hindus will oppose. Change the para. Ultimately, Pakistan supported Azad Kashmir force. Attacked over J&K. Pakistan supported Azad Kashmir force. Attacked over J&K. Out of confusions and doubt. On 22nd October 1947, on confusion and doubts, on 22nd October 1947, change the para, Maharaja Hari Singh contacted Government of India. Maharaja Hari Singh contacted Government of India on 24th October for military help. But military help could be provided, but military help could be provided. Military help could be provided after signing of instrument of cessation. But military help could be provided after signing of instrument of cessation. After signing of instrument of cessation, otherwise military invasion or otherwise military operation would have been violation of international law. Otherwise military operation would have been violation of international law. Change the para. Instrument of cessation was signed. Change the para. Instrument of cessation was signed on 26th October. Instrument of cessation was signed on 26th October 1947. On 26th October 1947. Thereafter, military operation started by India. Military operation started by India. Change the para. Azad Kashmir Force started getting back. Azad Kashmir Force started getting back. Change the para. Azad Kashmir Force started getting back and they blew off bridge. They blew off bridge over Jhelum. They blew off bridge over Jhelum. After crossing the bridge, the area was Uri. The area was Uri on eastern bank of Jhelum. The area was Uri on eastern bank of Jhelum in Baramulla district of J&K. The area is Uri on eastern bank of Jhelum of Baramulla district of J&K. Baramulla district of J&K. Change the para. Nehru, because of being interim prime minister. Nehru, because of being interim prime minister, change the para. Nehru, because of being interim prime minister, contacted United Nations immediately. Nehru, because of being interim prime minister, contacted United Nations immediately. Out of fear of full-scale war. Just after independence. Out of fear of full-scale war just after independence. Full-scale war just after independence. In the para. United Nations put condition. United Nations put condition to hold plebiscite. United Nations put condition to hold plebiscite. Provided foreign army is withdrawn. Provided foreign army is withdrawn. Provided foreign army is withdrawn, which could not be withdrawn by India and Pakistan. Which could not be withdrawn by India and Pakistan because of having no trust. Which could not be withdrawn by India and Pakistan because of having no trust. So ultimately, after long discussion, United Nations declared ceasefire United Nations declared ceasefire on 31st December 1948. United Nations declared ceasefire on 31st December 1948. ceasefire नहीं समझते हो? समझ रहे हैं ना? ceasefire की स्पेलिंग समझ रहे हो ना? ceasefire means stop करो war को, then and there. United Nations declared ceasefire. मैं कब देखता हूँ when you are looking at the other copy, क्या है ये ceasefire? So I get shocked, not really surprised. There is ceasefire, that's a very common word. Ceasefire, that has to be written immediately. That United Nations declared ceasefire. Ceasefire could not be declared if United Nations is involved. It could not be declared by any rival party. It has to be declared by United Nations. Ceasefire, please likho, ceasefire on 31st December 1948, and that ceasefire line, same line, and that ceasefire line was converted into line of control. That ceasefire line was converted into line of control in 1972. Line of control in 1972 by Shimla Agreement. 1972 by Shimla Agreement. Change the para. Jammu Kashmir was granted special status. Jammu Kashmir was granted special status under Article 370 of Indian Constitution. Jammu Kashmir was granted special status under Article 370 of Indian Constitution. But on the other hand, it's very important to keep in mind, but on the other hand, J&K is part of Indian Union. But on the other hand, J&K is integral part. J&K is integral part of Indian Union under Article 1. J&K is integral part of Indian Union under Article 1. J&K integral part of Indian Union under Article 1. Accordingly, Jammu Kashmir was granted permission to have separate constitution. Jammu Kashmir was granted permission to have separate constitution. Jammu Kashmir was granted permission to have separate constitution, and their constitution was put into action. Their constitution was put into action from 26 January 1957. Please take care of the line, it's important. And their constitution was put into action from 26 January 1957. Their constitution was put into action from 26 January 1957. However, Union government led by Narendra Modi, change the para, however, Union government led by Narendra Modi removed special status of J&K, on 5th August 2019. Removed special status of J&K on 5th August 2019. 5th August 2019 and downgraded Jammu Kashmir state. Very important question for you. And downgraded Jammu Kashmir state into 2 union territories. Downgraded Jammu Kashmir state into 2 union territory to have direct control of the union government. To have direct control of the union government. To ensure all-round development. Direct control of union government to ensure all-round development. And to control to ensure all-round development and to control cross-border terrorism. To ensure all-round development and to control cross-border terrorism. Cross-border terrorism. Just hold here for 1 minute, please. है ना? देखो, 1 minute. Two things. One thing. Jammu Kashmir was granted special status. That special status Narendra Modi government removed. When we would be moving, our last session would be on, last hour would be on Narendra Modi. We are moving like this: Nehru, Shastri Ji, Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai, Charan Singh, then Rajiv Gandhi, again Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, then VP Singh, Chandrasekhar. Thereafter, SD Atal Bajpayee, then SD Devgowda, IK Gujral. Thereafter, again Bajpayee, then Manmohan Singh, then Narendra Modi, under different prime minister. So let me tell you one thing. I have given you here a kind of hint to you that the Nehru government granted special status. Narendra Modi government removed special status. What was the process of removal? That I am right now extending to Narendra Modi era. We will go to Narendra Modi era. Thereafter, I will explain you in what way it was removed. Meanwhile, you would be having class on polity governance also. But whatever class you'd be having, that I won't. I would be giving in my own way the whole process, how it was removed. Apart from, now one thing you always clear in your mind. Why does, on what ground India always says that Jammu Kashmir integral part of India, complete Jammu Kashmir? Which article? अभी लिखा आपने. Article? Very nice of you, heartbeat बढ़ा देते हो आप. अभी लिखा है आपको कि Article 1 of Indian Constitution has made Jammu Kashmir as integral part of India, like any other state of India. The only thing was Article 370, that is temporary provision by which Jammu Kashmir was given a special status. So special status removed, but its status as complete integral part of India continues even today. This is it. Now, you would be having further after Jammu Kashmir integration, and once again I am also very much tempted to explain that area Jammu Kashmir removal कैसे हुआ, लेकिन थोड़ा सा वो extend हो जाएगा, because I think you are अभी fresh now. Had it been ongoing batch, polity governance etc., slightly you have idea thereafter. Otherwise, either I should explain in detail, or if I explain in detail 1953 status, Article 370, Clause 3, Clause 1, 35A, ये ऑल अगर एक्सप्लेन कर लेंगे, आप लिखते तो जाएंगे, लेकिन आपके कुछ के फेस मुझे दिखते हैं जो मुझे आई गेट डीमोटिवेटेड. 90% फेस मोटिवेट मी अलॉट, रियली स्पीकिंग मोटिवेट मी अलॉट, यू पीपल. बट 5% फेस आई डू कंसिडर देम ऑल्सो. दे आर लाइक दिस. अच्छा, अब ये भी होगा. ये तो डेवलप करना पड़ेगा ना, कि आप में गजब का स्टेमिना होना चाहिए. Writing 3 hours continuous, and that too very thought-provoking writing. Simply writing is not going to. So you would be, just I am giving you one hint that I'd be writing up, because I'd be also suffocating कि थोड़ा इसको बताते हटा कैसे दिया. देखो, one simple thing. Article 370, just to make you understand fast, ऐसे सोच लो कि just example, I am here Nehru, you are here Sheikh Abdullah, fine, of Jammu Kashmir. Then I said, Mr. Abdullah, congratulations, you have got a special status. You can make your own constitution under Article 370 of Indian Constitution. However, under Article 1 of Indian Constitution, you are part of India. I am making you understand in common day-to-day example. Take advantage of it. क्योंकि इसके बाद फिर आओगे ऐसे समझ में, ये समझने में कठिनाई होगी. It's difficult to understand the whole process. That's why I'm reminding each and every person. And textbook is not giving detailed explanation. How is it removed? Why textbook is not giving detailed explanation? Because the matter is sub judice with Supreme Court. आप सब जाने matter Supreme Court में है अभी. So the process we have to understand in just one line, one more line for you. देखो कैसे हुआ ये, to make you understand. I said, Mr. Abdullah, you are getting a special status. You are part of Indian Union under Article 1, but you have a special status under Article 370. And you can make your own constitution. Thereafter, Abdullah said, sir, please show me the constitution. Constitution, Article 370, temporary provision. Then Mr. Abdullah says, sir, it is temporary provision. Tomorrow we start making our, एकदम अच्छे से समझने लगे, देखो कैसे डिबेट है. Tomorrow we start making our constitution, sir. Mr. Nehru, tomorrow we start making our constitution. And as soon as we made our constitution, and you did not like our constitution, because it is temporary provision, you suppose deleted Article 370. What is the point of making separate constitution? तो नेहरू जी ने कहा, मिस्टर अब्दुल्ला, you are a bit hyper. You please read in detail. Article 370, clause 3 says, see, clause 3 we have added. Clause 3 says that our parliament will not make any change in Article 370 unless your constituent assembly gives consent. Abdullah said, what, sir, what? Indian Parliament cannot make any change in spite of the fact it's temporary provision. But Indian Parliament cannot make any change under Article 370, Clause 3 unless your Constituent Assembly gives consent to change. And I know, Abdullah, your Constituent Assembly will never say to change Article 370. So Article 370, we can't touch, Mr. Abdullah, unless your Constituent Assembly say, ask to change us. That your Constituent Assembly will not say, we know. So it is temporary written here, but basically it is depending on your Constituent Assembly. And Abdullah say, yes, Mr. Nehru, thank you, I got it. Thereafter, they started making their own constitution. 1951, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 26 January 57. और एक रिक्वेस्ट फिर मैं कह रहा हूं, टिल लास्ट हो, ये अपॉर्चुनिटी अगर आपको मिस करेंगे तो आप किसी पॉलिटी गवर्नेंस के फैकल्टी से कंप्लेन मत करना कि सर आपने जो रिमूवल प्रोसेस बताया वो समझ में नहीं आया, बिकॉज इट्स अ कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसेस टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड जस्ट इट्स नॉट दैट it's not that they would not be able to. They will also try their level best to make you understand, but this complex process, unless you have that interest and passion to understand, you won't be able to understand it. So देखो क्या हुआ, Constituent Assembly, their constitution came into action from 26 January 1957. समझते? इतना समझा? 26 January 1957 अभी लिखा था ना, उसके पहले क्या हुआ होगा? Constituent Assembly got dissolved. Which Constituent Assembly? J&K Constituent Assembly. J&K Constituent Assembly, which made J&K Constitution. J&K Constitution came into action from 26 January 1957. Thereafter, Constituent Assembly got dissolved. Constituent Assembly got dissolved. Thereafter, all J&K leaders celebrating like anything. Then Indian government looking at, Nehru was Prime Minister, looking at what is going on. They are celebrating. Why celebrating? Because Constituent Assembly already dissolved. When Constituent Assembly dissolved, who will give consent to Indian Parliament to change? समझ में आ रही है ना बात? Constituent Assembly is only authorized to give permission to Indian Parliament. As soon as Constituent Assembly is dissolved, thereafter the Article 370 itself become permanent article. It was very nice of you. समझ गए कैसे हो गया? Constituent Assembly got dissolved. Because of that, Article 370, in spite of the fact was written temporary provision, it got permanent. Because of that, after Nehru ji, no Prime Minister could dare to touch. Ultimately, in December 2015, High Court of Jammu Kashmir, while hearing a case on special status, delivered historic judgment that Article 370 of Indian Constitution, which says that Jammu Kashmir special status is temporary, no more temporary, it is permanent, because Constituent Assembly got dissolved. And since Constituent Assembly is dissolved, so nobody is there to give permission to Parliament to change. That's why it is simply written temporary provision, but now onward, it would be considered as permanent. 2015 दिसंबर हिस्टोरिक जजमेंट J&K. अब नरेंद्र मोदी ये अमित शाह सब बैठ के ऐसा करना शुरू किया. अरे यार, ये तो बहुत बड़ा झटका है. ये वी हैड ऑलरेडी पार्टी मैनिफेस्टो कि हम तो प्रॉमिस करके आए पार्टी गवर्नमेंट में कि हम 370 हटाएंगे. ये तो जम्मू कश्मीर हाईकोर्ट का जजमेंट है. नाउ they instead of filing appeal in Supreme Court, folks, देखो कितना smart काम किया. They did not challenge that judgment in Supreme Court. Had they challenged, the matter would have become sub judice. They would not have been able to touch. लेकिन उन्होंने challenge नहीं किया. अब देखो challenge नहीं किया. 2015 में हुआ था. 4 year थोड़ा grip बनाया. अब सब प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऐसे ही करते हैं, कोई एक्सेप्शन नहीं होता है. ही वॉज ऑल्सो वेटिंग फॉर कि इलेक्शन, नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन पास आ जाए. 2014 इलेक्शन में नारा था अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं, एंड इट वॉज गरीबी हटाओ लाइक वेव इन इंडिया. सो लाइक दैन 2019 ऑन 5th अगस्त, अब देखो क्या किया उन्होंने. नाउ जस्ट टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वे, देखो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एक्सपर्ट का क्या लोगों ने दिमाग लगाया. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिमाग, क्या ब्रेन लगाया सबने. देखो क्या किया. आर्टिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली गॉट डिसॉल्व, बट देयर इज एन आर्टिकल in Indian Constitution, Article 367. You should not confuse with 368. 368 is for constitutional amendment. 367 is 367, Article 367 empowers Parliament to interpret any article of Indian Constitution. फिर से बोलता हूं, Article 367 empowers Indian Parliament to interpret any article of Indian Constitution if interpretation is challenged in the Supreme Court. In that case, under Article 137, the Supreme Court has power of judicial review that can declare the interpretation null and void. Could you get it? देखो आज इतना इसलिए नहीं लिखा रहा, आज बोल के जा रहे हैं तो सफोकेट करते हैं कि they should understand. देखो कितने आर्टिकल है, 370 क्लॉज 3 आया, उसके बाद now it is Constituent Assembly, there are 367 once again. 367, not 368, that is constitutional amendment. 367 empowers Indian Parliament to interpret any article of Indian Constitution. And since Jammu Kashmir Constitution is not a separate constitution, that is constitution within constitution. That is within the framework of Indian Constitution. अब देखो कैसे interpretation हुआ. In August 2019, Indian Parliament, by using Article 367, interpreted Constituent Assembly of J&K, which was no more. They interpreted Constituent Assembly of J&K as Jammu Kashmir State Assembly. Could you understand it? Constituent Assembly already dissolved. Very nice of you. Kya sincerity aap logo mein, when you get it. Even you will find lots of candidates already appeared before interview, they are not clear how is it. Because of that, they lost battle in interview also. I repeat, God say, maintain karo aisa hi. देखो क्या हुआ? Article 367 was used by Indian Parliament, and Narendra Modi government in majority, they interpreted that Constituent Assembly of J&K, which is no more, already dissolved in 1957, that Constituent Assembly is now being represented by a state assembly. That means पिताजी नहीं है तो उसका बेटा तो है, तो बेटा जो है वो रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पिताजी है. तो पिताजी मर गए लेकिन बेटा जिंदा है, बेटा जिंदा मतलब पिताजी जिंदा है. क्या बात है. That means Article 367 empowered the Parliament to interpret any article of Indian Constitution. Accordingly, Indian Parliament interpreted Constituent Assembly of J&K as a state assembly. Now the question was, had a state assembly been working, they would not have supported the move. Then state assembly got dissolved. A state assembly. Who can dissolve a state assembly? Governor of the state. Who was governor? Satyapal Malik. अब सत्यपाल मलिक छोड़ दो, मैं ऑनलाइन बोल रहा हूँ, जेल जाना थोड़ी है हमको, है ना. लेकिन देखो कि ये लोग क्यों चाहिए, वाई सत्यपाल मलिक इज शाउटिंग लाइक इट, बिकॉज द फैक्ट ही वाज लिटरली यूज्ड दिस वे. So Satyapal Malik, who was governor of J&K, he was directed by the president, and president will issue direction on that advice of prime minister. And further, if I am saying, Prime Minister would be putting advice on the advice of Home Minister Amit Shah. Amit Shah would be putting advice on the advice of Nagpur. Could you get it? Don't write that. Nagpur means RSS. And so forget it, to make you understand. So this was the whole change. So ultimately, President directed Governor of J&K, you dissolve State Assembly, because the state assembly is not working in accordance to constitutional provision. Under Article 356 of Indian Constitution, governor has power on the direction of president to dissolve a state assembly, and there is no criteria defined in Constitution on what ground it has been dissolved. The simple criteria is it is not working in accordance to Constitution. अभी देख रहे हो तमिलनाडु का गवर्नर creating controversy because of that. This constitution, in spite of being lengthiest constitution in the world, has lots of space for creating controversy. Because of that, it is interpreted by judiciary always, and because of that, it is called heaven of lawyers. Indian Constitution referred as heaven of lawyers. So now देखो फिर से Article 367 Indian Parliament, they interpret Constituent Assembly as a state assembly. A state assembly dissolved. When a state assembly is dissolved, who will represent the state assembly? Head of the legislature, who is governor. And governor has to send report regarding removal of 370. Governor will send report because governor is appointed by the president under Article 155, removed by the president under Article 156. माने नहीं गा तो remove हो जाएगा. Got it? Governor immediately sent report. Yes, Article 370 special status be removed in the interest of nation and to have direct control over J&K by union government and to have all-round development and to control cross-border terror. देखा report point. सत्यपाल मलिक report भेजा governor को, governor भेजा report to the president. President immediately got the report and that president immediately handed over to Prime Minister. लीजिए नरेंद्र मोदी जाइए Parliament में. Parliament में गया, report is ready. Put report on the floor of Parliament. Resolution passed by thumping majority, entire opposition shouting. Opposition passed by Rajya Sabha. Thereafter, assent to president already sent report. There was no reason how can president refuse. Report तो वही भेजे थे. तो president उसके बाद president को लाके दे दिया. मोदी जी ने बोला लीजिए. कहा लाइए. Sign हो गया. Article 370 removed. And that too, before removing Article 370, of course, that is the way that to avoid any sort of challenge in law and order situation, entire Jammu Kashmir was put into army control. Net was down, no net connection, nothing, and complete under shoot at sight order and curfew. Entire Jammu Kashmir was like having peace, but peace exists in graveyard also. It was like graveyard of peace. Entire Jammu Kashmir, thereafter 370 removed. 370 removed हो गया, and all leaders who had been speaking this or that behind bar. And that too not in jail. उनको सबको होम अरेस्ट कर लिया. उसके पीछे क्या होता है? If they are in jail, there has to be jail manual. घर में है तो उनके साथ क्या हो सकता है, क्या नहीं हो सकता, वो जानते हैं. अब ये सब मत बोलना चाहिए, है ना? आप लोग तो घर जाओगे, मैं, है ना? तो this is wait, I am just out of lighter vein. I am saying so. It's my profession. I have a right to expression. That too, I am sensible citizen. If it's going to happen, will happen. No issue. So I repeat, but truth is truth. Rational is rational. This is the way 370 was removed. Thereafter, what happened? Not only that, Jammu Kashmir state, generally union territory is upgraded to state level. Here, it means the Group A officers promoted to IAS. Here, IAS officer demoted to Group A level. As per the provision of provincial examination in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. So, देखो उनको UT to be upgraded to state, but it was the state was downgraded to UT, and that to 2 UT. And thereafter, naturally, this after downgrading, thereafter the government says in due course of time, there is no time limit, but in due course of time, the statehood would be restored, provided we are able to ensure all-round development. There is no criteria of ensuring all-round development. And according another thing, the J&K is under direct control, so to control cross-border terror. So altogether, this was a process, and now this process has been challenged in the Supreme Court of India. Now, Supreme Court of India is also taking Article 137. Parliament used Article 367. Supreme Court of India using Article 137, and that is also Supreme Court is also doing it to review. But the point is that Supreme Court has also realized the delicacy, the sensitivity of the issue. Because of that, the matter was challenged in 2019, and this is 2023. And Supreme Court neither reacting on any issue nor giving any date of hearing. And that too, it's a very surprise to see that when it is time and again, the date schedule is demanded by the parties for urgent hearing. The Supreme Court say it could not be heard urgently unless the election is held in J&K, which is very much scheduled now. Now the question is, when election will also be held, what is the point of review thereafter? Like demonetization in 2016. Ultimately, decision came out in 2022. Supreme Court says, हाँ वो ठीक था वो जो हुआ. अरे सुप्रीम कोर्ट बोल देगा नहीं ठीक था तो क्या करेंसी कहां से लाओगे? This is then what it is called. It is called judicial overreach. It is called judicial activism. It is called action reaction between executive and legislature. It is also called presidential activism, legislative activism, judicial activism. And these terms, these concepts, you should study very properly while studying polity and governance. And I'm sure we are a team. Of course, I'm guest member, that is a different thing, but here the team would be taking utmost care of this area, that this has to be made completely transparent to you. This is the process, and now this is already seed I have sown here, but while dealing with Narendra Modi, I will deal with you, I remind you this way, I will deal with this way: one nation, one tax, one nation, one budget, one nation, one constitution, one nation, one ration, and now one nation, one legislation. In this reference, I will take a session on Jammu Kashmir, removal of special status. Of course, now I am settled down. I am happy. At least I explained you how it was removed, and thereafter we should turn towards now after Jammu Kashmir, it was turn of Junagadh. And within 1 minute, I am telling you, Junagadh mein zyada problem nahi hai. Junagadh in 1947 itself. Junagadh, it is in Gujarat now. So that Junagadh was having proximity to Pakistan. So Junagadh did not bother for plebiscite. Ruler of Junagadh was Mahabat Khan. In 1947 itself, Mahabat Khan preferred to accede to Pakistan without going for plebiscite. Then Sardar Patel asked Mahabat Khan, you acceded to Pakistan in October 1947 in spite of the fact you did not hold plebiscite. Without holding plebiscite, if you are acceding with Pakistan, that is violation of the act. Getting the point properly? Violation of Indian Independence Act. If you are violating act, you would be subjected to military operation. Get ready for that. Here Sardar Patel used force, and military surrounded entire Junagadh from three sides. One side was Arabian Sea. Three sides. Mahabat Khan fled Pakistan. सब नशा उतर गया 2 मिनट में. As soon as military चाहो तब से घेर लिया. अब इसको लोग जो ऐसे लिखते हैं, it was Sardar Patel because of his military action. अरे ये because of military action थोड़ी हुआ. Because of violation of our Indian Independence Act, because of that military action was carried out. Getting the point? So that way Mahabat Khan fled to Pakistan, and his Diwan advisor, who was Shah Nawaz Bhutto. Shah Nawaz Bhutto signed instrument of accession on his behalf, and Junagadh got integrated. Who's Shah Nawaz Bhutto? थोड़ा सा जानना चाहिए. Shah Nawaz Bhutto, father of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and daughter of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Benazir Bhutto, who was assassinated. His son is Bilal Bhutto. Bilal Bhutto, all of you know. And Bilal Bhutto is like Pakistan edition of Rahul Gandhi. What he says, he himself doesn't know what he is speaking. So he says, and in your state, coincidentally, in Andhra Pradesh, another edition also, son of Chandrababu Naidu. He is another edition. So these three leaders, if you compare them and hear them together, because he speaks in Telugu, but I do. Slightly I understand Telugu and because of regular visit, but English translation also comes in. So when Bilal Bhutto is speaking, when Rahul Gandhi is speaking, and when son of Chandrababu Naidu is speaking, when you compare all the three, you see fantastic how these three editions are so similar to each other, very difficult to understand. So that way Junagadh got integrated. There was it was turn of Hyderabad, where we are sitting. Point out please here, change the para. Altogether, change the para altogether. Change the para altogether. After integration of Jammu Kashmir, altogether after integration of Jammu Kashmir, it was turn of Junagadh. It was turn of Junagadh. It was turn of Junagadh, which got integrated. Turn of Junagadh, which got integrated. Which got integrated to Pakistan. Please take care of the line. Which got integrated to Pakistan in October 1947. Which got integrated to Pakistan in October 1947 without holding plebiscite. without holding plebiscite, so its a ruler Mahabat Khan, Mahabat Khan violated Indian Independence Act. So its ruler Mahabat Khan violated Indian Independence Act by not holding plebiscite, This violation, that violation led to military operation. And his advisor, Shah Nawaz Bhutto signed instrument of accession in February 1948. And Junagadh got integrated. Change the para. Now it was turn of Hyderabad. Change the para. Now it was turn of Hyderabad. It's Nizam Osman Ali Khan. Wanted to stay independent. Wanted to stay independent because of having wealth and resources. Few line you write, I will explain thereafter. Because of having massive wealth and resources, he had his own army, railways, airways, post office. So he preferred independence. However, change the para. However, plebiscite was held. In accordance to Indian Independence Act 1947. Plebiscite was held in accordance to Indian Independence Act 1947, and around 95% population of Hyderabad supported integration with Indian Union. About 95% population of Hyderabad supported integration with Indian Union. But even then, he refused to comply with plebiscite. Which led to military operation. Which led to military operation called Operation Polo. And finally, Hyderabad got integrated. Finally, Hyderabad got integrated. In November 1948, finally, Hyderabad got integrated in November 1948. November 1948, change the para. After, change the para one line, after integration of princely states, change the para, after integration of princely states in India, change the para, after integration of princely states in India, Nehru government, after integration of princely state in India, Nehru government appointed Linguistic Provinces Commission. Nehru government appointed Linguistic Provinces Commission. Linguistic Provinces Commission in September 1948. Linguistic Provinces Commission in September 1948, led by Justice S.K. Dhar. Led by Justice S.K. Dhar. The commission, change the para, the commission was given responsibility. The commission was given responsibility. The commission was given responsibility to consider criteria of. The commission was given responsibility to consider criteria of linguistic reorganization of states. Consider criteria of linguistic reorganization of states. Criteria of linguistic reorganization of states. The commission pointed out linguistic reorganization of states. The commission pointed out merits and demerits. The commission pointed out merits and demerits of language criteria. The commission pointed out merits and demerits of language criteria in which and here just you give me 2-3 minutes to have first half conclusion. Just 2-3 minutes. I repeat, once again, we are sitting on that soil. All of you are well versed, I think so. Osman Ali Khan, that point of time, had massive wealth, wealthiest person among. He had his own airways, own railways, own army, own transport, own communication, own postal system, a massive empire. So he could afford opening embassy all across the globe had he got independence. But staying independent was not at all a problem. Not at all a problem. Provided he would have held plebiscite. But he, without holding plebiscite, decided on his own that he don't need accession to either Pakistan or India. He is able to maintain that independence. Then Sardar Patel reminded Osman Ali Khan, Mr. Khan, it is according to Indian Independence Act, not according to us. According to Indian Independence Act, you cannot decide on your own. You have to decide based on plebiscite. Thankfully, Mahabat Khan was that arrogant person. He did not carry out plebiscite. But Osman Ali Khan was a very different kind of person. Osman Ali Khan, later on I will tell you, during Shastri ji, he has invested, not donated. बहुत misconception है. आप नेट पर official website पर जाके देखना. Osman Ali Khan had invested 425 kg of gold in National Defense Gold Scheme during Shastri ji. That was great help to India in financial crisis after Indo-Pak war. So that gentleman can never be forgotten. On the contrary, Shastri ji, while addressing in Ramlila Maidan, he had openly in his lifetime itself, 1965, after 1965 Indo-Pak war, I will tell you in second session, it's second session not possible, first we will Nehru era, but let me tell you, it's a very temptation to escape. Shastri ji officially had visited after Indo-Pak war, Hyderabad, and requested Osman Ali Khan, ki, sir, would you like to help us because we are in financial crisis. And that gentleman invested, not donated. Invested means what? He was earning 6.5% per annum interest for 5-year bond, and he invested 425 kg of gold. Lots of people here, without going into official record, they claim like that he donated 5,000 kg of gold. There was no 5,000 kg of gold. It was 425 kg of gold that you should comply according to the official website of Government of India, Ministry of Defense. So I repeat, Osman Ali Khan, when plebiscite was held in Hyderabad, 95% favored accession to India, integration in India. Thereafter, he started delaying. He said, no, I don't care, plebiscite. Problem was, in this country, beauty was, in Jammu Kashmir, Muslim majority, ruler was Hindu. It's a beauty of this country. And in Hyderabad, majority was Hindu, the ruler was Muslim. So it's not a question of Muslim Hindu, it's a question of equations. So Osman Ali Khan was adamant that he is not going to comply with plebiscite. Then Sardar Patel asked him, Mr. Khan, you have to comply, not our direction. Once again, let me clarify. सरदार पटेल ने कभी किसी का आर्म ट्विस्टिंग नहीं किया था. आयरन मैन इसलिए कहा जाता है उनको because he was a man who tried to ensure compliance of law in letter and spirit by each and every state unions. जो आदमी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को इन्फोर्स करेगा विथ फर्म हैंड, विदाउट एनी कंप्रोमाइज, विदाउट एनी बायस, दैट मैन हैज टू बी रिगार्डेड एज आयरन मैन. इंदिरा गांधी was regarded आयरन लेडी. These are symbolic names. So I repeat, Osman Ali Khan finally, Operation Polo started, military operation, and you young people of India who are staying at that point of Hyderabad, it's a very nice moment whenever I explain here, because otherwise I explain somewhere else about Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad, military operation started, and for around 9-10 days, that was the strength of army of Osman Ali Khan, that they sustained Indian army for 9-10 days. They did not let them enter into Hyderabad. But finally, Operation Polo got successful. Nizam was taken into custody, but it was Sardar Patel. Good gesture, I think. आप चूंकि यही हैं तो आप थोड़ा ये जानने लिखने का जरूरत नहीं. आप जानते, he was not handcuffed on direction of Sardar Patel, then Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister. That in spite of the fact army had taken him into custody, but it was special direction that no, he is Nizam, and of course he has surrendered under military operation. He retaliated under military operation, but he should be taken into custody without handcuffing. No handcuffing. ऐसा insult नहीं करना. No handcuffing. Nizam, of course, Nizam was taken into custody, and thereafter Hyderabad got integrated into Indian Union. Thereafter, what happened? Entire princely states integration completed. Now it was challenging task of a state reorganization in India. What is the difference? Just to conclude here, what is the difference? The difference is princely state was 565 in number. So integration of so many number of states. Integration of, आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या point out कर रहा हूँ? कि इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ सो मेनी नंबर. देखो इस चीज को चेंज करो. जैसे मैं क्या कह रहा, व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, प्लीज टेल मी. यू प्लीज. हाँ नो आप बताएं. यू प्लीज. Want integration of princely state, why it was challenging and why state reorganization process was must after princely state integration. You can speak that way, you have that smartness. लेकिन बोलो why it was needed. आप अपने को चीट कर रहे हो ना. क्यों बार बार इधर उनका चेहरा देखो. अगर इनसे मैं पूछूं, he will explain nicely. I know he will explain nicely, and you are equally talented. मत करो ऐसे. Cheating yourself. Why are you wasting my time, your time as well? Be careful that it is by reading into books is not going to get registered in mind. What was simple line it was that you are not, because you are casual, and the man is working hard for you to make you understand. कुछ मतलब नहीं है ऐसे पेपर का. आप कैसे बोले, एक लाइन बोल सकते थे आप. स्मार्ट यू आर सर. आफ्टर इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ प्रिंसली स्टेट्स, so many princely states, 565 in number, it was very difficult to maintain unity and integrity of India. Because of that, all the princely states need to be integrated into state units so that they should be lesser in number to have maximum control. Simple सी बात थी. इतना जान लगा के बोलते हैं, रेस्पेक्ट करो इसको. Not me. efforts को respect करो कि someone is trying hard to make you understand. It is like that I was trying to make understand that in a study room, suppose there are 500 books scattered here and there. It's very difficult to make out how to study. So to have good control over your books, what you do, you classify your books, suppose subject wise, polity here, paper 1 here, paper 2 here, paper 3 here, paper 4 here. That way your entire study room is well organized. Likewise, after having so much integration of princely state in India, it was must for India to integrate all the princely state into state unit. But point was, what should be the criteria of state unit? Because of that, Nehru government appointed Linguistic Provinces Commission, because language is a very important criteria in this country. Even today, here Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Malayali, Bhojpuri, all these languages are. So language, what is the criteria of language? If a state is formed on the basis of language, what will happen in India? Plus, minus. So it was Linguistic Provinces Commission, and Justice S. Kedhar, he was judge of Allahabad High Court. Nehru was from Allahabad, so naturally Allahabad High Court judge was appointed. That is not to discuss. Allahabad High Court judge he was, that's it. And Linguistic Provinces Commission was not asked to recommend anything. Linguistic Provinces Commission, once again, देखो कितने से समझ रहे हो ना, register कर सकते हो मैं. Linguistic Provinces Commission did not recommend anything. They had been given responsibility to point out merits and demerits of language criteria. They said positive and negative. They said positive is language should be criteria of formation of a state. They said that if language is made criteria, it would be very easy for political masters and administration to interact with people, provided language training is given to all India services. अभी होता है language training? आप भी उसी कैटेगरी में हैं. प्लीज चेंज करो इसको. IAS बनने जा रहे हो, एक कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलना चाहिए. कंफ्यूजन फेस पड़ेगा, कहां से आएगा? लैंग्वेज क्राइटेरिया होता है. तेलुगु में जहां तेलंगाना का कैडर मिलेगा, he has to go into language training. If you fail to pass that, you would be back to some other post. ऑल इंडिया सर्विसेज आपसे विड्रॉ कर लिया जाएगा. दिस इज इट. तो क्या चीज होता है, क्या मैं पूछना चाहता रहता हूं आपसे. लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोविंसेस कमीशन रिकमेंडेड. क्यों आप लोग एक दो लोग हुए ऐसे? मत करो ऐसे, ये आपको अपने आप को हर्ट कर रहे हो. यू शुड बी एबल टू स्पीक लाइक दैट. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट यू कीप लुकिंग एट अदर कॉपी. देखो कैसे बोलना था आपको, आपके पास स्मार्ट है. यू वुड हैव सेड सर, Linguistic Provinces Commission pointed out, as I was giving explanation to make you understand, Linguistic Provinces Commission are pointing out plus that if language is made criteria, then politics and administration will be able to interact with people very nicely and development would be ensured. But politics can interact, administration cannot, because the administration may be from outside all India services. So commission said, Nehru government, that if you make a provision for language training for all India services, that was a commission suggesting Nehru to make language training a part of training for all India services, then only administration and politics will be interacting with people of a state and it will be faster development. But the negative side is, if you make language as criteria, there would be fight in India, all across India, based on language. Either today language is criteria. Today language training is part of all India services training. But it is also true that because of language criteria, India started burning all across India, and first fight started from Madras presidency. It was Madras, because Madras Tamil is oldest literature in Dravidian culture. So naturally, as soon as Linguistic Provision Commission came out, then it was Madras presidency. Madras people started asking that yes, we want Tamil language, based on Tamil literature and language, we want Tamil Nadu. As soon as they say we want Tamil Nadu, naturally in Madras, the northern part of Madras presidency was Telugu speaking people. That is now Tirupati. Because of that, you find Tirupati is the only part in this area where people speak Tamil and Telugu so fluent. Hyderabad में तमिल समझ में भी नहीं आएगा. लेकिन if you go to Tirupati, Tiru is the area. Tirupati was naturally, it is very much interaction with Tamil and border it is. So now it was once again, it was Telugu speaking people in northern part of Madras presidency led by Gandhian leader Potti Sriramulu, who said if they are getting Tamil Nadu on base of Tamil, we will get Andhra state. He did not demand Telangana then. He was Andhra, not Andhra Pradesh even. Andhra state he was asking. We will have Andhra state based on Telugu. Then naturally, Sardar Patel, Nehru all got shocked. My God, before commission is recommending, fight already started. Then April 1949, JVP committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel and Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. There was JVP committee. They immediately ordered suspend. They did not say stop. They say suspend criteria of language. Suspend criteria of language to avoid violence in India right now. Let us decide after elections, Lok Sabha election. But meanwhile, all got silent thereafter. Let Lok Sabha election, that election was held in 52 finally. So let Lok Sabha election come, let enforcement of constitution come, then we will decide. People got silent. Meanwhile, what happened? In September 1949 itself, Constituent Assembly announced Hindi under Article 343 would be official language of India. Then especially Southern Indian people took out sword. Ye kya hai? You are imposing Hindi over us? That all you Hindi speaking people from Northern India are dominating Constituent Assembly, you imposed Hindi over us? देखो, ये कोई गलत नहीं कहा आपने. साउदर्न इंडिया जो डिमांड डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री में होते हैं, ये डिमांड उनका सही था. उनका कहना था कि आपने हमारे से बिना विदाउट कंसल्टिंग अस, because you are dominating in Constituent Assembly from Northern India, you impose Hindi over us. Why should, even today we are not accepting Hindi? अभी भी आप देखो, आपको फ्री है, आप देखते हो, आप सारा ऑफिशियल कम्युनिकेशन बिकॉज ऑफ लैंग्वेज एक्ट पास बाय शास्त्री जी एंड नेहरू जी इटसेल्फ. नेहरू जी ने पास किया था 1963 में कि ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज एक्ट दैट यू आर फ्री टू यूज अल्टरनेटिव लैंग्वेज दैट इज इंग्लिश. That I will explain further. I also suffocate here because so many things are there and you have to study as a civil service aspirant, you have to study so many things. So many things. The way I am speaking fast, it is not the way to speak. But yes, I am sometimes maximizing use of time to speak faster, to make you understand. So this way, Linguistic Provinces Commission form, they had to point out positive and negative merits and demerits of language criteria. Accordingly, what they recommended, the language criteria would be good for development, but language criteria would be bad for in terms of violence. Both the effect we have evident in India. However, further you would be studying about that merit demerit, then this is official language Hindi, then it was opposed, and thereafter naturally after enforcement of constitution, then Nehru, after facing Lok Sabha election 1952, Nehru was keeping quiet because of he was naturally, as any politician, he was not he could not understand the gravity of situation. Ultimately what happened, Potu Sri Ramolu, he went on fast on 19th October 1952. How could he survive? Nobody knows. That was his inner strength for a cause, and ultimately, and government also could not understand the gravity of that fast. Ultimately, just 4 days short of 2 months, 15th December 1952, Sri Ramolu died. When he died, it was uncontrolled violence all across India, and under compelling situation, then it was compelling situation, in 1953, immediately, Hyderabad was merged with that Telugu-speaking area, and Andhra State, not Andhra Pradesh, Andhra State was formed, and that Andhra State became Andhra Pradesh in 1956 by 7th Constitutional Amendment, when 14 states and 6 union territory was formed. That way, I will give you further detail, but that way, we have covered our point, what we have projected. From 5th point itself, we will start our post-translation. Right now, we are having 1:35, 40 around. So, try to come back by 2:30, latest by 2:35. I will start the session by 2:35. 1 hour around break is there. Fine? Come back, please. See you. No, कोई बात नहीं.